So tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life, and I hope they understand.
Tops Off World Tour, Thackerville, May 16th, Tulsa, and ending in Austin, May 18th. Tops Off World Tour. Yeah, I just picked up some sweet kicks. But you know what? I only like a couple of types of shoes. I'm not into everything like you are. Here, grab the mic. Are we started, Austin? Here, we'll let him go to the bathroom. We'll talk sneakers real quick. Yeah. Wait. So yeah, because you like everything, and you got shit that you can't find.
Yeah.
You got shit that, like, when we went into your house and went through everything, it was like, I mean, Tiffany Dunks.
Yeah, for me, like, it was never really about collecting shoes for me. Like, it was always about Jordan, right? Like, that symbol to me was everything.
Yeah.
And like wanting, that was like a real life superhero to me. It was my first real life superhero.
I love his brain.
Yeah. How he works business wise.
I like that he's a dick and that he gets motivated off of like, oh, fuck
revenge.
You. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy.
There's parts of that documentary where I'm like, part of me is like, this is the most petty thing ever, but it's also like, if it gets the edge, how do you not do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My edge, it's so funny. I am the exact opposite of Jordan in many ways.
You don't say. What do you mean?
I get
What are you talking about? I thought you guys look exactly alike.
You'd be shocked how different we are.
You'd be surprised to know that we are vastly different.
I don't have any of his drive. I kind of feel like I'm killing it, and I'm not making half the money he ever made.
I can't jump high. There's a lot of things different about it.
Athletically, we're very different. I think we drink similar. That's the best part of that doc is that he's drinking the entire time.
The entire time and loves
with
gambling.
yellow eyes.
Dude, like jaundiced. Like, you're like, what is happening right now?
No one's going to tell. Here's the thing, when you're great.
It's not his house either.
When you're great, it's not?
No, he lives like, he didn't even want people seeing the interior of his house. He lives like close to that house.
What does he have, like swastikas everywhere?
He's like,
why the fuck?
It's like Lemmy from Motorhead. He's just got World War II shit all over the place.
What would you reveal in that shot in your house? Like, you could find a way to cheat it. Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
You think, have you ever met him?
Yeah.
For real?
Wildly private, yeah. Very private. I mean, very nice.
So do you ever run into celebrities where you go, I won't talk about them on podcasts. I won't talk about, like, I ran into a celebrity that was very, one of the most famous people in the world, and he was very open with his house and his life.
Yeah.
And he didn't say, don't tell anyone. I don't think he even gives a shit, but I just said, I want that to happen again. So I don't ever want him to hear me talking about it.
You don't feel like you're selling it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah, I get that. I don't know if I've ever done that. I was about 3 feet from Meryl Streep last night, and that kind of blew my mind in the sense of like, oh, like, we're friends. I'm friends with a lot of comedians. I'm friends with a lot of people. I've made a lot of friends, and that's kind of how I like to believe I got where I am. But it's like, I was just like, I don't know. I guess there's different levels of success, and you're like, that's a superstar right there. Like, that's what anybody sees this person, they're gonna know who this person is. Yeah. We're like 3 feet from her, and I'm like, this is wild.
Wait, where were you last night?
At the iHeart Awards.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were up.
Where you guys were in here?
We were up for 2 awards, and then we presented Jelly, which is great because
Jelly's in town.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I have a video on my phone. I'll send you where I was trying to leave the bar last night, and this is the video that his wife got. It was about the 5th time that I was trying to leave the bar, and I didn't tap him. I didn't, almost like not trying to wake up a bear while they're sleeping. Yeah. And I kind of creeped around, and in the video, you just see his hand grab my hoodie and pull me. He doesn't break eye contact with Flavor Flav. He's talking to Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sneak out quietly, and I just feel a hand grab the back of my neck and rip me back. And I'm like, and I just look at him, I'm like, I'm trying to leave. I look at the camera, I'm like, just please let me leave. Yeah. So yeah, he's here. We're already started, Brent.
We were talking shoes, we were talking Jordan, we were talking Jelly.
Talking about celebrities that you would never necessarily talk about publicly, even though they were nice to you, because you just feel like that's a moment you want to
like. If I walk into a locker room and I see Kevin Costner's dick, I'll tell everyone about it. Oh, there's certain people I go. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I go. You're not that you're not important to me, but you're don't need your. I don't. There's a thing about going like I'm good. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share. I feel bad. I like partying stories. There's guys I've done coke with. I won't tell stories about.
Sentence alone.
Yeah.
Just that.
Edit his name out. But yeah, like I did coke with a lot of guys when I was younger. I don't know. It's kind of cool. You used to do coke, right?
All of it.
ago.
Yeah. But it's
All
kinda,
the coke.
It's kind of a cool. I mean, not to reminisce, but like it's a cool moment when someone like trusts you enough to go, "Hey, man, you want to do a bump?" And you're like, "Oh, you think I'm cool?"
Yeah. Dude, he has like a Smokey story where he ended up on a rooftop in Compton, like how Smokey ended up in the chicken coop.
Yeah,
Really?
the first record, what were the demo process before we got to Los Angeles, and just went out on an evening one night and wound up in Compton on a roof with two call girls and their pimp.
Really?
Yeah. It was
He's
a
got some
evening.
wild-
That's like that's the party and people worry about you for.
Yeah.
Like I have friends, I won't say their names, who we'll edit it out.
Yeah.
But like that their partying stories, you'd be like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
wow, you really went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing is this, like a lot of it is for me personally, look, I can look back at it and be grateful that I'm alive.
You kind of you like
Beyond grateful that I'm alive, because when it got sad and all of a sudden
Yeah.
everybody that I knew started to die, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
I feel like when you did it, and I've been around you
And
enough.
now with fentanyl, it's like, listen, if
Yeah,
you
it's
have to
just
take
not worth
a
it.
drug test for
Yeah.
the drugs you just bought to see if it's the actual drugs that you thought it was, maybe just stop.
you have to buy a drug test to test your drugs that you're about to take.
Maybe just quit.
I've been
Oh.
around you enough to where it's like when you were partying, I can already tell, and I haven't been around you doing that obviously, but I can tell you that it was a fun, lighthearted thing. Like when it got to him towards the end, it was dark.
yeah.
And so that's when like when I tell you the times that like I used to go to bed, and this is a true story, I would put my finger under his nose at night to see if he was alive. Not like sarcastically, like
Yeah.
not because there was people around, like let's check, like me by myself, 6 a.m. going, all right, well, I hope he wakes up in the morning.
Like this sounds crazy, but like I go, especially with artists, I always want to, when they get sober and they get their shit together, I want to go, hey, thank you. Because
Yeah.
you still get to you're going to still make shit that I like.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I want, like if I ever see him, I'm
Want a
just going to give him a
turnaround,
hug and go,
dude.
hey man, thanks. Like you've really provided a lot of joy in my family.
Maybe one of
Yeah.
the biggest turnarounds in Hollywood too. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Just like wild to be as good as he is, like at what he does, and like from where he was, and like
Yeah.
you see the jail pictures of him and him in court, and then it's like, oh, now you're one of the biggest actors of all time.
My shift was my son, who's 16 now. Like as soon as he was brought into the world, I was like, it was instant where I go, oh, wait a minute. Now it's no longer about me. I'm no good to this child dead.
But wait, did it happen like at birth or like fucking?
Man, when he,
Because I only reason I say
Yeah.
this is Georgia was born.
Mhm.
I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I said, shoot, my daughter.
After you went to Attell's comedy show.
the very first day,
Mhm.
I said very confidently, my daughter will never see a drink in my hand.
Mhm.
And Leanne goes, well, they can't really see past like fucking 3 feet until like 4 months. I go, okay, so I got 4 months. I got 4
that.
month.
I got 4
And then-
months, and then it's over for me.
And then I just kept drinking.
Yeah.
And so, but wait, was
You're like,
it?
I'm easing into this.
Yeah, I was like, well, I can get 4 months to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it right when he was born, or did it take like a period of when he's a human and he's walking around?
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, I was definitely in a transitional moment in time. I was 30 when my son was born,
I was
and I'm
30.
46 now. And I think that, there was, I still had moments here and there where I was trying to get it together. But no, man, like the year he was born, like immediately, definitely, I was still drinking at the time, but not as much. But any of the hard stuff, which was mainly, whether it be cocaine, that was really the one that was always like the instigator. And then it's interesting when I think of people talk about actors that have come back, that they didn't really go away, but then they came back full force. Michael Keaton with that series Dope Sick,
Yeah.
everything that he was talking about with that family, the Sacklers, all that time. Man, I go into like PTSD sometimes when I see those Battleship Oxycontins back in the day, those 80 milligrams, because that was my life for like 3.5 years. It was awful.
We would get a FedEx.
I'm seriously lucky to be alive.
We would get a FedEx on tour. Like we'd get like a FedEx envelope would come in and it'd be like DVD cases. And I'd be like, well, we already have both seasons of the Chappelle Show. Why do we have 4 fucking seasons of the Chappelle Show? And you open it and it's just full out Battleship Oxys in a DVD. Like we'd get them sent to like, and they were just like crushing them up, and they would like mix other shit. I have a picture of on our bus, and this is 18 years ago now, but like it's like uppers, downers, Xanax, fucking Oxy, and then they're all mixed together, and they would just crush them up and snort them, and you're like, hey man, this is not okay. Yeah. And then it got to the point where like him and another person who was in the band at the time would hide their drugs from each other. And that's when it gets dark. When you're not wanting to do the drugs together, you want to, and they would hide them in my bunk because I've never done a drug in my life, right? Yeah. So like I would get in my bed and put my arm underneath my pillow and find like a foil ball, and I'm like, and then I'd put my other arm and I'd find another one, and they were both hiding drugs from each other in my bunk.
There would always be the term emergency blow. Where you would hide blow, and then you'd find it and be like, somebody like a tour manager would be like, they'd want you to go out and sign for all the people, and you'd be in a bad mood because for whatever reason. And then the tour manager would come up to you and be like, listen, if you go out there and you sign for all those kids.
If you're a good boy,
I have emergency blow. Like, excuse me?
That got said in Anaheim, California in 2006. They didn't want to go do the meet and greet after the show. And they were like, listen, if you guys go do it, we'll come back. I may or may not have some emergency blow. And they're like, yeah, let's go do it.
That's, first of all, can I tell you, as a person, like I had a run in. I think I maybe oversell how bad it was. I don't know. I'm never good with my truth. You know,
yeah.
Like I tell you the story so that you enjoy it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like, and if Leanne's here, Leanne would be like, first of all,
but facing it yourself.
Yeah. But like I had a run in with oxys after I fell off a waterfall, and Leanne pulled them from me.
Yeah.
And I needed them. I was like, I needed them kind of, but then also I was like, it also makes watching Lost so much better. And you're like, but like you're like, and then I definitely had a problem with Xanax. Like, but there's such I'm sorry if this is going to trigger anyone who uses drugs or anything, but there's such an amazing feeling when you get a full prescription of brand new 90 pills of Xanax, and you're shaking it in your car, and you're like, I don't even know where to put it. Should I put it in the driver's seat next to me?
Yeah, in West Virginia, they used to take the full, like when you would hear a pill bottle like that. Yeah. Like, you know what that's called in West Virginia? That's a mating call.
Mating call.
And you come from like Knoxville's. I'm going to Knoxville this week. But Knoxville's like that area is where oxys kind of fucking
more in West Virginia. Appalachia. Yeah. But I mean, Knoxville, Tennessee is University of Tennessee. Obviously, the Tennessee Vols is a college town. So, you know,
there's tons of Xanax there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Adderall too.
It's just the really disturbing thing is that when you find out the reality of, you know, these families that have this money and have this power in the pharmaceutical company, you know, where you really are, you know, you bear witness that these people don't care if you live or die. You know, and that was one of the things about that series, Dope Sick, that Michael Keaton, which it was so profound when I watched that series, because I said, a lot of times when you'll see a series like that, you don't know if they were pretty pinpointed. I lived that, and that was all accurate.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think about it now. Look, pain medication, if you need it, is one thing. Xanax, all those types of things, they're anxiety disorder medication. And certain people need that, but they're not meant to be taken in a long form, meaning like for a long period of time. Because I had the same problem with diazepam and benzos. Benzos are dangerous.
Benzos, we took my buddy to rehab and they wouldn't admit him.
Yeah.
They were like, no, he's on benzos. He needs to. I have another buddy who went to rehab who lied about benzos. He goes, if I tell them that I've been taking Xanax, they won't admit me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, because they can't deal with it, because it does kill you.
Yeah, because the other side of it too is it completely rewires everything in your brain. And what happens is when you abuse those drugs, and I know this firsthand, you just don't care. You just become numb to anything.
Yeah.
And you lose a part of your soul. Because again, they're not meant to be taken for long term. They're meant to be taken, if you have panic attack disorders, to be taken. They're supposed to stop the panic attack quick. You know what I mean? But daily usage of that, it's so devastating on how it just rewires your brain. And when you stop, it takes so long to rewire it.
Rewiring your brain's a really important statement. I think I probably have told you this, but like I quit drinking for like 3 months, and I had a month. A month is nothing. A month is nothing is going to happen to you. You'll lose some weight. You'll feel better. Yeah, but you really need 90 days to get to a place where you're like, oh wait, I'm experiencing joy. Like I'm getting new circuitry. I'm really like. I'm sitting in my backyard going like, this is beautiful, man. This is what gratitude should feel like.
Because you burn the ends of all those nerve endings and they can come back, but you got to give them time to come back.
And same with your body. Everything in your body starts healing, and all of a sudden these pains that you had go away. It's crazy. But I always wondered, I'm curious what your insight is this as an artist, is there was part of me that I drew inspiration from my broken parts. Like I drew inspiration from being hungover at an airport and needing to drink to get on the plane. And I drew inspiration, like my first couple drinks on the plane, and I'd start writing and I'd listen to music. And I the one thing that I was missing, is going to sound so insane, but I missed being drunk on an airplane, listening to music and crying. Like, cause if I got enough of a buzz, I could listen to any fucking song and just waterworks. I mean, you guys, what fucking song did you play at your fucking show? And I started sobbing, crying backstage. I'll tell you right now.
Enemies.
Second Chance.
Second Chance, yeah.
It does it to people.
You posted a video of yourself sobbing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the fucking, I don't have it in comedy, but the moment when, tell my mother, tell my father, the best. You're like, fucking, that's all anyone feels. That's all anyone feels. And I was just bawling. But I missed that not drink. I almost got emotional there. I missed that not drinking. And then all of a sudden I was like, and then after a while I got on planes. I was like, oh, I can be like a regular person and not have panic throughout this flight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I was never, when I did drink, I was never a big drinker. And it wasn't like, when he drank, like even when he got sober from drugs for a second, he was still drinking, and he would have a red Solo cup filled to the brim with room temperature Kettle One. No ice.
That's a fucking.
And then he would have a Coke. And you could tell that he didn't like, you enjoyed drinking. Like I've been around you enough. I've gone on tour with you.
Yeah,
on your
that's right.
bus.
Yeah.
And like you enjoyed
one of my best shows I've ever had.
Yeah, dude. I was there for it. It was great. I took pictures of it.
Yeah.
And it was, you enjoy it. It's something that you enjoy doing, but you enjoy the surroundings of it. You enjoy where drinking gets you, the situations it leads you to. He would drink to get to the place where he could forget.
I would drink to fall down.
Yeah. Like he would like, this is
I'm
him.
trying to just get to the
This is him drinking, right? So it's Solo cup, I mean, to the fucking brim. You can't even, because it's clear, you can't even tell. And an ice cold Coke. And he would go, and as soon as this one went down, this one went up. And it was like, oh, you're just trying to get to the finish line here. Like there's no enjoyment. This is like you taking drugs, but you just know you can't take drugs anymore. So this is your drug, and you're just trying to get to where you're blackout. And that's basically what was going on. And it got so bad that I think in like 2010 is when he quit drinking, and that's when it had to stop. But yeah, like that was his crutch, right? And he never did it like, he was never on stage fucked up. Like that was never a thing that ever happened. But I remember those times where it was like, you could tell like this person's just doing it to get through it.
Yeah. And a lot of times too, even inside of that, it's the same dynamic like with us, as songwriters, there's different areas. We do different things. There's the writing of the material, there's going on stage and what have you. You go in, you're writing, a song, or you're writing an album. You're never walking in there and saying to yourself, I'm going to write a song about A, B, C, or whatever, because I think it'll make me famous. Go in and write the songs because you have something to say. And for the longest time, I thought that I needed to be messed up in order to write these heavy subject matters and what have you. But the fact of the matter was, I never walked into a studio high. when I was cutting a vocal. I never, maybe 5 times that I can count my entire career that I got up on stage and I was inebriated, and they were nightmare events. So you never do that again. So you don't want to disrespect the audience or the fan base, whether they've been there from the beginning or they're just finding out who you are. But there's always been a respect when it comes to the actual art itself. But listen, the whole thing is you start doing drugs, I think, because you're trying to escape. You're trying to see if there's another part of your mind that maybe you haven't tapped into, and then to see what happens there. Because I know a lot of people, especially in modern times now, especially in the last 3-4 years, I encourage people that they think that they need to like utilize, psilocybin, which has kind of had this resurgency. If it's monitored, there may be something to tap in to that. The same thing with like how people view certain things like marijuana or what have you. I think if it comes out of the ground, that the universe put it there for a reason. But when this stuff is man-made, it can be deadly, like really dangerous.
I just found out, like, I was talking to someone. We were talking about, I'm on cholesterol medicine. I'm on this fucking, I think 20 milligrams of this.
What's
pill.
the medication?
Atorvastatin.
Okay.
And someone was telling me, another doctor was like, it's because your doctor has a deal with them. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it benefits them. Why wouldn't they put you on it? It doesn't hurt. They think it doesn't hurt, but they go, it really fucks up your liver. Like, it's not good for your liver. Like, to take all these pills every day, it's wear or tear. So ultimately it's going to.
Cholesterol, there is a supplement that's very, very effective. They've done a lot of clinical studies on it, and it is effective. I don't know the milligrams from a clinical dose, but I know red yeast, I believe is what it is. Red yeast rice. Yeah. That's a supplement that gets talked about a lot for pulling your cholesterol down. But I will tell you this, if you go to any CVS pharmacy or like Walgreens or any of those type of places, Nature's Made, I think it is, there's a supplement called Cholestoff Complete. There's a Cholestoff Plus and a Cholestoff Complete. I had high cholesterol about 3.5 years ago when I got my blood. They're like, your cholesterol's high for the first time ever. But the doctor was like, I'm not going to put you on it. You're too young for this, and you're in good shape. Like, could be genetics, it could be your age. And I take Cholestoff Complete 6 pills a day. It's 3 in the morning, 3 at night. Within 3.5 months, my cholesterol was perfectly what it needed to be. And I do attribute some of that changing my diet, but that particular supplement I know helped out.
I get a text from Rogan once a week about cholesteral medicine.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, you probably have a good brain trust of people that can give you the info.
Yeah, you got to measure. Look, I always say this is like, everyone came after Joe during the vaccine stuff. I was like, yeah, but that's Joe. That's so Joe is to do his research for him. He does it for him, and then he tells you what he learned.
Turns out he wasn't crazy, huh? Wild. Wild to think.
I mean, I fucking cheated to get that first vaccine. I went in with a Mexican accent, like, come on, Dad.
You kind of use prosthetics. I don't look like an old man, an old Mexican man. So
I really did. I had the mask, and I was like, yeah. I spilled sauce on my shirt. I was like, I had a sombrero. I was asleep in the corner. Ever walk into a store and have absolutely no idea what wine to get? Yeah, me too. I've stopped wasting time at grocery stores staring at a giant wall of wine and not knowing what to pick. That's why I love our next sponsor, Naked Wines. This podcast is sponsored by Naked Wines. Naked Wines is a subscription service that seamlessly connects you to the finest independent winemakers on the planet, so you get a box of the market's best quality wines, however often you like, for a fraction of the price you'd normally pay at stores. Use our code Bertcast for the code and password at nakedwines.com and get their incredible deal of 6 bottles for just $39.99. How does Naked Wines work? Very easily. Naked Wines connects winemakers and wine drinkers directly, allowing for vineyard to your door delivery at up to 60% off what you'd pay in the stores. By cutting out the traditional retail middleman cost, winemakers can pass those savings on hundreds of top quality award-winning wines to you without skimping on the quality. I'm telling you right now, I had a Malbec last night. Here's how I found out I love these Malbecs. I love that their quiz matches you with the bottles that you love, and each shipment includes wines they recommend based on your previous ratings. I've been rating the wines after I get them, and each shipment gets better and better and better. So head to nakedwines.com/Bertcast and click enter voucher in the top right and put in Bertcast for both the code and the password to get 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off and less than $7 per bottle. That's nakedwines.com/Bertcast and use code and password Bertcast and grab 6 bottles for just $39.99 one last time. That's nakedwines.com/Bertcast. Code and password Bertcast for $100 off your first 6 bottles. If you're looking to treat yourself with some special drinks, here is to alcohol deliveries with DoorDash. The alcohol selection on DoorDash is top shelf. With thousands of stores all over the country, you're sure to find what you're looking for and more. Beer, wine, mixers, mocktails, and more can be delivered straight to your door. Order your alcohol with DoorDash today and drink in the savings. Use code Bertcast to get 25% up to $15 value on a $35 minimum subtotal on your next alcohol order. For eligible users only, terms apply. Must be 21 older to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Delivery and promotions available only in select markets. We just wanted to make a cocktail I saw on David Chang's show. It was a gin martini with a vermouth. We didn't have the vermouth. Dude, such a no-brainer. And you know exactly what you're getting. You go on, you get exactly delivered straight to your door. And we had those. We got the gin too. Oh, so great. We froze the glasses. And then I don't want to get into my drink, but I'm telling you, this is an absolute no-brainer. Order your alcohol with DoorDash today and drink in the savings. Use code Bertcast to get 25% up to $15 value on a $35 minimum subtotal on your next alcohol order for eligible users only. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Delivery and promotions available only in select markets. When it comes to all that, it's like there aren't enough people doing wild research. So many people like myself just go, sure, okay. Like with the oxys for me, I fell off a waterfall in North Carolina, and the lady was like, you need to take one of these every 4 hours and then take a Valium with it, and that'll help. It's a muscle relaxant.
And he was like, okay.
And I was like, sure. And I was like, wow, these work great. I mean, like,
I can't feel anything.
I mean, I remember one morning waking up in a hotel bed I couldn't get to my pills, and I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't move. Mm-hmm. So I was in a lot of pain, and I pissed in the bed. I was like, I couldn't get out, and I had to piss. And I was like, I can't. There's no.
Wow.
Yeah. And then.
Bert, we've all been there. Or maybe just me and you have been there.
You guys have both definitely been there.
What?
Because as you're saying it, I'm like having flashbacks.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the weird thing. I was listening to someone talk about, I've had so many people get sober that I know. I was trying to draw the analogy, because if you run horses fast enough, eventually people's horses are going to stop. They're not going to make the whole trek to the West Coast. Yeah. They're going to have to bury their wagon in fucking Utah. Yeah. And you get a lot of those. In my line, you get a lot of people making amends. And I was like, and I've had a lot of people do that, whatever, like the 9th step or whatever. It's pretty interesting. It's fascinating when someone's like, hey man, I remember the first one I had where I realized what was happening. I wish I could say his name because he's such a fucking cool dude. But he came up to me. I was at a radio station, and he was in the lobby. And he was like, hey, Bert. I was like, what's up? I was with Leanne. And he was like, I'd like to talk to you. And I was like, oh, sure. What's up, man? He was like, I want to apologize for my behavior. And I was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And Leanne goes, hey, stop. Don't cut him off.
Yeah. He has to do this.
He has to do this. And I went, wait, what? And he said, I'm in the program. I'd like to make my amends. And I went, it was kind of I'm such a fucked up person. I was like, cool. It's like having a chick try to kiss you.
I've never had
usually
someone,
I'm apologizing.
Yeah, I've never been the amends person. Go ahead, give it to me.
And so I sat with it, and I was like, cool. And
I love how your wife, though, was like, let him finish.
Yeah. And then he did his amends, and I went, hey, man, you're forgiven. I fucking love you. I think you're an awesome person. I don't write that one night off to who you are as a person. I'm so happy for you. You look like you're doing great. Keep in touch. And then I've had people do amends, and then I've said, no, I didn't respond. And then they fucking spin out. I knew you were a piece of fucking shit.
Like you,
and you're like, you're not done drinking.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
It's time to go back to step 8.
Yeah. I don't know if that's how amends work, guys.
If this is 9, you need to maybe go back to 3 and just start reworking.
That's a
this thing
shorter
again.
fuse than you thought you had.
Oh, buddy.
That's the worst kind of person though, that like when they reach out and they want something. It's like even like somebody like asking for tickets or something. It doesn't matter. Any person like that to me who like reaches out and they just need the validation of you answering and you don't answer. It's like, well, fuck you then.
Ooh.
Like that may be my biggest pet peeve.
I'm curious. I know I've known Zach for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I know your story. I think everyone knows your story. Maybe they don't, but like you
have a story?
It's curious because
I'm excited about this.
But you were growing up like gangster guitar player, borderline prodigy, I would say. And everyone was like, that's the fucking guy. That's the fucking guy. Everyone. And you have a similar story where I was reading the bio, and I never do this, but it was like you were in a band and then you were Atlantic or something, and then they were like, yeah, get rid of the band, keep him. And they're like, we want to keep him, we want to work with him. What, like, do you ever believe it? Like they don't, that doesn't, I mean, it does happen in comedy where like you see a guy pop at a young age and they're like, that's the guy. And then everyone starts doubling down on him and then
they buy the hype too.
And then they buy the hype, but you guys are really grounded. But I do know that you guys
made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Yeah. I wasn't grounded at 16.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I thought my shit didn't stink.
What's that look like in like a studio or on a show or?
I was always respectful. I was always respectful to the people around me who were trying to teach me things. It was like, I thought my shit didn't stink in a way of like my people that I surrounded myself with. But like if I walked into a studio, I mean, I did my first few records with a guy named John Hampton who worked on Led Zeppelin 3 and did all the Steve Ray Vaughan albums and all the Gin Blossoms albums. So like when I was around those people, like I was me now, a kid, and I was, very respectful. But like I thought my shit didn't sink to the people I chose to surround myself, my friends, the people that worked for us at the band, the band itself, things like that. But yeah, I was never like a dick to other people, like that. I was always, him and I grew up in the South, so as did you. So it's a pretty respectful.
Where did you grow up? Florida, right?
Florida, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So pretty respectful in that sense. Everybody from the South has a deep-seated fear of their grandmother coming down and smacking them in the back of the fucking head if they're rude to anyone. So like I've always grown up like that, but it was just more like just to the people around me. It was never like it didn't look like anything to like if I met someone, I was never like, oh yeah, what's up? Like that was never me. I was always excited to meet whoever I met.
Was there a pressure?
For certain. And also, this is something you don't realize till you get older either. When I was younger, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is the greatest life ever. And then like when you turn 35 and you hit a spot where, you know what, maybe I need therapy, or maybe, and you start going, you know what, I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to high school. Like, and you're like, man, maybe that did mess me up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you're like,
by the way, we became songwriters because it's cheaper than therapy.
It's cheaper than therapy. That's why you write songs. That's your therapy. But yeah, you're like, I did not have a normal life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, you think you did because you had a great life and you got to do all these things that your friends didn't get to do. But at the same time, when you get older and you start seeing, you have kids. Like, obviously, when you have kids, it changes everything. So when I see my kids starting to do, like, Ollie just turned 8 2 days ago. And I'm like, dude, he's 6 years away from when I got a record deal. And he's 8. Thinking about him 6 years from now, that blows my mind to think that I was like, oh, we're flying to Europe. I'm 14.
That's fucking. And what's interesting is like, I don't mean this. I mean it however it sounds, but I mean it just like your talent is quantifiable. It's objective, not subjective. When you're a songwriter and a singer, it is in a weird way subjective. Yeah. Like there are people that go, that guy doesn't have it. Yeah. Like when you play the guitar, like, oh, that guy's fucking pretty proficient.
Yeah.
But when you're a singer-songwriter, it's got to be like a weird thing of going like, yeah, you've got it. And then you've got to be in your head because you were writing songs that weren't hot before they found you. And now you got them and you're like, oh, so I'm the shit. Like
Well, I mean, for the aspect of those things, everybody, a lot of times musicians were actually kind of all cut from the same cloth. I mean, as really, and more than anything,
most creatives, I think.
Yeah, I think you also have to look at it. We look at it as myself and Zach and Eric and Barry. We have two machines, no pun intended.
No, not
but you have the studio and then you have live. when you're talking about the band.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because this new medium, you know, where you're not emboldened to like media outlets and you can talk to people and we can kind of express these things and talk about these things out, you know, on a larger platform and a wider one, is the fact that nobody has any idea in artistry what they are doing. Like they're creating something out of nothing. It didn't exist. And do you have something to say? Going back to that dynamic of going into a room, into a writing session and saying to yourself, I'm not here to write a song because I think it'll make me famous. I'm writing it because I have something to say. So that you evolve over time in that. But as a singer, I was talking about this the other day. People have asked me, like, when did you know you wanted to sing? And I'm like, from birth. I don't have a conscious thought before anything except wanting to like make sound with my voice. Because I think of the voice as a musical instrument. Some people don't.
It really is.
Some people don't. They look at it differently.
If I will tell you, without a doubt, I feel impotent on stage if I don't have full vocal range. And when I have full vocal range, I am so much more competent and free as a comic.
By the way, it's the same thing as a singer. Like when you walk out, I've got 80%. No one in the audience is going to know. Well, I've only got 50%. No one in the audience is going to know. I'll know.
Yeah.
You know, 5 or 500,000 because we've played for both. But
changes your perspective.
Yeah, it changes it. When you have it all, you know that when you walk up there, man, and you've got it all,
your confidence is there too.
You're ready to throw down. Now you learn over time, if you don't have it all, you're a performer, so you adjust and you do your absolute best. And everybody in that audience, you may have not thought you did your best, but you might have changed someone's life. But that's not the way you walk into it. Because I'm still doing this as long as we have. The thing about myself and Zach and the band and Eric and Barry is the four of us, I don't necessarily know if you would find something interesting per se in each one of us, but when you put the four of us on stage together, it's kind of like Voltron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of a sudden, everybody's using one brain.
I love that you said we're fucking boring individually, but when we come together.
Well, maybe you know what it is. Maybe it's from us. I look at it from the inside, you know, looking out, or maybe the outside looking in. But there is something. I'm better when I'm with the three of them. That's when I'm at my best.
Yeah. Best by myself.
Yeah, I'm best by
Tom slows me down.
Tom slows you down. You're not best by yourself though, because look at all these incredible people you have.
I would
around
love
you.
to. Oh no, yeah, they just sort of.
And they give you the confidence to get up, and you know they give you the. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
It's a lot of dead
Having
weight.
your guy.
A lot of dead weight in this house.
You've met our head of security, John, before, I know. But I don't know if you know all of the comparisons that when he shaves his head, sometimes he'll grow his hair out a little bit, but he looks so much like Tom that we were in an airport one time in the Delta Lounge.
It happens more so than not now.
All the time. People, a lady in her mid-40s walked up to him in a Delta Lounge, sitting with dudes, even if you don't know who we are, if the four of us are together, like these guys are definitely some sort of band, and they walk up, skip all of us, walk right up to John, like, can I have a photo with you? And he's like, what? She's like, you're Tom Segura, right? I was like, no, I'm not Tom Segura.
I want to see a side by side with Tom and John.
Oh, there's
on this.
so many good
Paulson,
ones.
see if you can pull it up. He should pull full Tom and tell them to fuck off. Tom is fucking. I'm so aggravated at him today.
Why?
Because he has boundaries.
Oh boy,
and I fucking hate it. It's so fucking annoying.
How long have you been friends?
Oh, too long. Fucking, and now we're married. We're married. I'm more married to him probably than I am to Leanne.
Okay,
because we have a fucking vodka together.
I know.
Congratulations! I saw it. I see everybody posting it. So
yeah, if
you still drink, man.
It's a great vodka. It's a great fucking vodka. But
I could do it for you. The alcoholic in me wants you to know that this new vodka is fantastic.
How long did it take you? How long did it take, like, the testing of that, like, to get it to where you wanted it? How much did you?
No.
That's our head of security.
Now where's the side by side with Tom? We got to get this up. Yeah,
especially that face.
That face, definitely.
The nose is what it is.
It's really good. Or it's like a side.
This is getting more and more fantastic by the second. There we go. Right there. There.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's the same person.
Let's get it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, now you can see why people come up to him and ask to take a photo with him all the time.
Yeah, we're really polar opposite men. He is very measured, and he's very meticulous, and he has really great boundaries, and I am not. We got offered this thing. We got offered this thing together. It was fucking great money, and I said yes.
And he said no.
And Tom said no, and I went, hold on, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? He was
Can we talk about this?
He was like, yeah. And then I was like, can we set up a meeting or something? Like let's. And then we did a Zoom, and Tom had fucking lists of questions, and I notably did not say anything in the meeting. And at the end of the meeting, Tom goes, Bert, do you have anything? And I was like, bitch, I told you. I said yes Thursday. I was like, I'm in. I'm fucking in.
Yeah. My question was, what's the money? Yeah. I'm in.
It's a fucking great. Listen, Tom just is. He's measured, and he also is a little more calculated than I am. Like, doing this vodka is a perfect example. It started with a. I
was going to say, how does one start a vodka company?
Well, I'll get into the weeds on it, but like,
go for it.
It started with a wine company came to me and said, we would like you to be the face of our wine, and no investment, huge ownership of the company. Are you in? I actually love their fucking wine. Yeah. And I said, yes. And then I stopped and I went, hold on. I said, I have a business partner, a buddy, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask him if he wanted to be a partner with me in it, because I know that if it came to him and he didn't ask me, my feelings would be hurt. Yeah. Tom's feelings would never be hurt. He doesn't get hurt feelings. But I was like, I feel like that. So I went to Tom and I said, here's the deal. Let's do a meeting. We talked to the group, and Tom was like, that sounds good. And Tom was like, I don't want to be a white label. I don't want to be like put my name on something. I want to own it. We then and then all of a sudden it started flooding in. Beer companies, other brands started coming to us once they knew we were interested, and the agents were bringing it to us. And then Tom, very wisely, we did it. But his brain works in that we will be a part of every step of this journey. Yeah, and not just the tasting, the bottle design, the logo design, the merch that we bring with the company, the cap in the bottle. You know, and so it took 18 months to develop the vodka. And then we got really lucky, and we found this distiller that has this proprietary distilling process that's not really out yet. And we found him, and he was a fan, and we were like, yo, oh wow, let's see if we could do. And when he had I think he had other stuff, but I was like, dude, vodka's my shit. Mm. I'm going to be the one bringing it on anything. I will drink it everywhere. Let's do a vodka, what I drink. And I'd had such success, and I say this boastfully, but honestly, I had had such success promoting Tito's. Yeah, I was their number one spokesperson. I was going everywhere talking about Tito's. So you worked
with that company?
No, I didn't.
No, he just was drinking it.
And I talked about Tito's and soda, double Tito's soda, big glass, no lime. That was my drink. Yeah. And I did a weight loss challenge against Tom on Rogan, where I drank Tito's the whole month and lost as much weight as him. He lost more and then shaved my beard. And but Rogan's like it was my drink. If I went anywhere, Tito's was there. Every venue had a Tito's display brought to you by their local reps. I mean, I went to
and
Austin.
No real endorsement, just like you just liked Tito's.
Shit. I love their shit.
I love that.
And it's I guess what you want out of a brand. I remember saying we should do something, and I remember one guy was drunk, and he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "You already drink our shit. We got you." And I was like, "Oh, that fucking sucks." And he's like,
"That whole time you were drunk, and they were getting free advertising.
Free advertising on the biggest platform in the world. Yeah. On Rogan, I was Tito's. Yeah. And then so we said vodka, and then we even went through, and I wasn't drinking when we had to do the taste test. So I had to put it in my mouth and let it sit on my tongue, and then spit it out, and then wash my mouth out. And we did 16 different flavor profiles, and we landed on the same fucking two. Me and him independently landed on the same two that we liked. Random as fuck. Wow. And then we taste tested those two on the podcast live. Said we're just going to let it play, and we'll figure it out. Yeah. And we both picked the same one.
That's crazy.
I knew we were going to pick the same one. I know vodka. Yeah. And our vodka has got such a round profile. It's such a generous. It's a real generous lover in that it doesn't worry about it coming. It wants you to come.
Is it a straight vodka though? There's not
Yeah.
a flavoring to it.
No flavor.
Okay.
No flavor. It's a vodka.
That's
Okay.
what he was. That was his thing.
Yeah, it's a
So-
vodka. Man, I if you ever fall off the wagon, I'll send a package. If you want, I'll even pay for your rehab.
Okay.
They should have a rehab like that where you go.
Your buddies just pay for
Just
it.
call it Off the Rails, and you
Okay.
go in.
There we go.
And it's a beautiful rehab facility. And you check in, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I'm partying for 3 days, and then we're cleaning
But I'm going
up.
to party here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
partying here.
Exactly.
And you get all the epic
Supervised
partiers.
partying.
You're like, Ben Affleck's here? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Ben. And he's like, we've been waiting for you, fucker.
Dude, I only got one more day left. I've been here 2 days.
Yeah, we're going hard tonight.
We're going hard. Dude, I got to go hard till midnight. I got to stop tomorrow.
Yeah.
The
But
business
that's
model
wild.
for this is extraordinary.
That's funny. And
Yeah.
man, dude, shout out to your dedication for like, even though like, obviously this is one of the biggest business ventures that you're doing. And you like have to taste it to make sure it's good. And you're still not drinking.
I hadn't gotten drunk.
Your
off of it.
conviction, man, it's crazy to see
How long has it
you.
been since you had a drink?
8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
This
drank-
was,
I drank
he'll
pretty
stop
heavily
drinking.
last
He'll
night.
stop drinking for periods, but like stick to it.
Okay. What's the longest in the
3
last?
months.
3
How
months
many?
is the
3
most.
months?
3 months.
Now, what was for the 3 months?
Just
you?
Well, I think the universe was conspiring.
Mm.
I now know that there were conversations within my household about dad might need to go to rehab.
Yeah. There's
I-
that.
Dad just
Man,
gonna
they
do
let
it
that
himself.
one fucking slip out. They let that one slip out at the wrong fucking moment. Fucking ski trip. Now you're gonna tell me that you guys were gonna send me to fucking rehab? And
On a
you-
ski
Send
trip
me
that
to
was having
rehab.
to get you
and
there?
I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drinking. We went skiing, and I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be present for my family.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
And they were like, what is he doing? Why isn't he drinking?
Georgia just fucking. I mean, Georgia just was like, yeah. Georgia just let it slip. She was like, we were going to dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to drink. So it was a big steak dinner, one of the nicest restaurants there on the mountain. And I had not had drank the whole time. It was our last day. Was the next day.
Steak with you is anything, or is it got to be wine paired? How do you like it with
Bloody.
steak? Bloody?
No, first of all,
Buddy.
buddy, this is
Steak.
I
Just steak.
I ritualistic about this.
Let's go.
Dirty martini,
Okay.
blue cheese olives.
Got it.
One of those. Apps come. I'll slow roll that. Boulevard has the best dirty martini because it really is a martini and a half. They leave you some in the shaker,
Okay.
and when you get it, it's so watered down and cold.
And you're ordering. If it's a big dinner, you're ordering all the apps for the
I order.
hotel.
I order for everyone. I don't let
Yeah.
other people order.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I go, hey guys, let me just take care of this
Yeah,
because I don't want you to go. Well, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
If you want to get it too, but I'm gonna place the order,
Okay.
and then I get a martini, and then I go to a Malbec. I get a nice Malbec.
Okay.
And my cardiologist told me Malbec's the best thing for you, so I do Malbec. But back then, I would probably do 2 martinis, and then a Malbec, and then another bottle. Last night, I had a martini and a glass of wine.
Okay.
And then I was gonna smoke weed, and I was like, maybe I'll get high and then sit in the backyard and have a cigar.
I went through a 2-year period with red wine, and Opus One was my thing with
Yeah.
like steaks and anything that was red meat. It was all Opus One. But that was way back in the day.
He thought he like got like fancy and stopped drinking, and he was just drinking a shit ton of wine.
I've done that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? I'm done drinking.
No,
Just
no.
wine.
I'm
I'm
on-
a connoisseur.
I'm on the wagon right now, and you're just like, yeah, bring me 3 bottles of Camus, please.
It's so funny. Little things drinking had such a powerful hold on me that like I'd go to a Target and my favorite part of Target
wait
is
to
when
see where
we
this
walk
goes.
down the food aisle to the left on the far right of Target. They always
Yeah.
have the food, and you'd hit the wine and you'd go, hey, I loved this feeling. Should we get some wine for tonight? And Leanne would go, yeah, let's get a couple bottles of red. And I go, okay. And I just fucking 6 bottles of red. Yeah, and I would get the one I wanted that night, and then I knew the second bottle I wanted. I fucking, I am very ritualistic. I'm very much a teetotaler.
Yeah.
Like I either go, I'm really strict with diet. Right? I was just talking to Peter about this. I saw a dude, I say this to you guys. I wonder how, I said one of the sexiest things I ever saw was my buddy was at Gelson's. And I saw him they have like a wine bar at Gelson's.
Yeah.
And he was having an IPA and a piece of pizza. And I was like, fuck. In like a Saturday afternoon.
That's like the most manly shit.
I said, what are you doing? He was like, I just went up for a bike ride and I took the bike over here. Thought I'd lunch, get an IPA and a pizza. And I was like, I wish I could be that guy.
Mhm.
I'm not.
Okay.
I have weird rules about drinking.
Mhm.
I would never have a beer I can't even eat pizza right now because I'm so strict about diet.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of strict about drinking. It's like when I go on the road, I'm completely clean.
Okay.
Because my voice goes.
Yeah.
I don't sleep well. And I'm pretty much entirely clean on the road. I do party, like if I run into someone hits me up and like, yo.
Well, when you're talking for an hour and a half a night and what have you, and you're doing that consecutively, it's the same thing. Like you can't go out. Like the days of, as you get older too, it's like I can't go to a strip club or a club or of any kind and yell from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. Expect to have a voice the next
His
day.
voice is gone.
But and so I can't. I have rules, and so if I have that day where it's pizza and a beer, it's going to be a couple beers, and I'm going to eat fucking like shit, and I just don't allow it really for myself.
Mm.
Although today I was fantasizing about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a strong word.
And I was going
being that guy.
Yeah. And I thought, and my assistant was like, you should have some alone time today. And I go, can I do it with you?
That kind of defeats the purpose.
And he goes, well, I can take you there and drop you off. And I was like,
you should ride your bike to a pizza joint that has IPAs and just kind of be in that moment.
Is that hard for you? Because my question is this, and I've been on the road with you, just like coming out with you, just to be on the road, not just you coming out to see us or me coming out to see you for one show. Like, is it hard when you are trying to keep it in line because everyone knows you and everyone wants to be the guy to buy Bert a beer or drink with Bert, or like, is your resolve? Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's times where I will make an executive decision. A perfect example is like we were in Philly and did the arena, Wells Fargo Center, and they were like, and I don't think I wasn't drinking, and they were like, the hockey team they're here, they're at the show, they'd love to have a beer with you. I was like, I'll have a beer. There was a country music artist, I wish I had his name on the top of my hand. I was sober, and I say sober, that not sober, but I wasn't drinking, and he brought me on stage. He was doing this cattleman's event. He brought me on stage, and he wanted to kill a beer, and I go, yeah, I'll kill a beer, but then I know that is the one beer, and I'm going to pound a bunch of water, I'm going to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that.
I think I told him this too, but it's like, it's such an interesting thing to have someone who like when people want to have fun and they want to do it and they have the means to do it, it's still in a way almost selfish for most people, right? They want to do it for them. It's like watching you go through what you go through and like do the things you want to do. Like it's the most selfless thing I've ever seen. It's so cool with you because like you want to have the experience, right? You know how many people come up to me, dude, last night. So everybody's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you still here tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Bert's and we're going to do the podcast. And they're like, all these business guys from iHeartRadio, the head of iHeartRadio is literally sitting there and everyone starts quoting your thing about drinking. Like, I will stay in the best shape I can possibly stay. They all start like saying it to each other like it's a fucking Hootie and the Blowfish lyric. Like they just like start going like, I will stay in the best shape as long as I can drink forever. They're like chanting it. And you're like, this is this great quote. But what I'm getting at with you is like, I've never seen someone who wants everybody to come on the ride. Like you want everyone to come on the ride with you so you can watch them experience it and have fun. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen about anybody that I've ever been around. It's so cool because like, all right, we're going to a sneaker shop. Everybody pick out 3 pairs of sneakers. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like who does? And it's like, it's not just like, all right, well, just me and Peter are going to go. It's like, if people are around you, that's how you do. And maybe that's why we're so close. Cause I'm similar in that way. And it's so interesting to see, man. Like you're one of the most fascinating people I've ever been around who does that.
So simple purchases go a long way.
Yeah.
Like for $500, you can buy everyone tracksuits, and then you guys get to all dress alike for the weekend.
But here's the thing:
the fact that you would come up with that
gets talked about though. That gets talked about forever. And $500 you can get back in a heartbeat. My favorite
thing ever was the Barstool guys.
Oh yeah.
I told KFC Radio, Kevin and Feidelberg, I said, if I give you a call within 24 hours, will you get on a plane and meet me anywhere? And they're like, yeah. I go, cool. And they're like, what do you do? I said, well, I'll give you a call. and
I'm not going to tell you when.
Not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you where.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you a call. And gave him a call. I was like, Amsterdam. I'll see you there. And they were like, shut the fuck up. States. And so they both fucking got on a plane, flew to Amsterdam, and we spent Chinese New Year's and Winston Churchill Day together in Amsterdam, partying our fucking balls off. Like,
when was this?
It was such a chaotic event. We are in this sex club at the end of the night where they're throwing dildos around and they're putting dildos in dudes' mouths, and then all of a sudden fucking walks in. He's like, "What the fuck?" And we're like, "Holy shit!" We lost one dude. He took too many mushrooms, and then we all walked out of the sex club, and he walked up. We're like, "Mark's alive!" It was the greatest fucking night ever. But and that's a little bit of taking that from Tommy. Is Tom would be the guy that would like get you a present,
yeah,
because it means a lot. Or he would be like, his big thing was he would take out his buddies that he grew up with, fly them out first class, put them on the bus for a couple days and let them hang, go to nice steakhouses, do shit during the day, race cars or whatever, and then fly them home. And he was like, yeah, it's fun for me. It's fun for them. And I remember just being like, I was so nervous about money.
Yeah.
I still am, where but for small investments like sneakers or like I'm not buying anyone a watch. I take that back. We bought someone a watch, but
you're not buying everyone watches.
I'm not buying anywhere. It's just Shane Gillis. And so, but like little simple things like that, it's always, I find the investment to pay off way more than the thing. But I always wonder, like, I'm always fascinated by music money. Like, has the music money changed as streaming has gotten bigger?
Oh yeah.
And like, what was the heyday of albums? Not like the 80s, 70s. Like, when was the last run for albums?
Late 90s.
Late 90s?
Yeah. To make solid money off record sales, yeah. Late 90s. We got in at the very end of it, I feel like, in 2003.
Well, we're one of the only artists on the Warner Music Group, though, too, that still has like a 70% like physical.
People
like
still buy our CDs, yeah.
For whatever reason, the band that we're in,
player,
people still want physical vinyl or CDs from us.
Your fan base is a coveted, wild fan base.
It's great.
It's like you can't.
Greatest fan base on the whole planet.
As you start a band or you start a career, sometimes people want a certain fan base. Like everyone wants the like I think young, hot, fucking Instagram influencer like fan base.
Yeah.
But the real fan base you want is what you guys have, and it's like fucking 8 years old to 110 years old.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird swath of just regular people.
Well, it goes back to anyone from anywhere at any time is welcomed all the time. Whether you're just finding out about who we are, you've been there from day one. I mean, look, again, I've said it 100 times over because it's really important that people know this. I mean, because it's how you have a career. Mm-hmm. Your audience is so important because they do need to be an extension of you as your family. Fan stands for fanatical. A lot of our audience, we really do consider them a part of our family because they've given us the freedom to not only they've given us a platform to be ourselves, but again, when you talk about finances and things of that nature, we all have families. We're gone a lot. I'm on the road 280 days out of the year. I live in hotels. I don't even have a home. I haven't for almost a decade. But that's the way I choose to live. But at the same time, I work really, really hard to provide for my family and what they need that maybe I didn't come up with, still giving them a work ethic of everything because that's what they instilled in me. But the audience is so unbelievably important. But in this band, we have one boss. It just happens to be everybody in the audience.
It's so interesting when you think of like I don't write jokes I definitely don't write anything for who I think's in the audience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was younger, I did. Like if I did a college, I'd be like, all right, everything's got to be young and hip and drugs, alcohol, fucking sex.
You always, I think, especially when you start too, you always maybe need to feel like you need to roll everything down Main Street of the crowd that you're playing to.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that's difficult for you as a stand-up and anybody that's a stand-up when I don't want to say the word separation isn't a good word, but the fact of the matter is, as a comedian, you don't have the luxury necessarily that we have. And I use luxury lightly, but a song can evolve over time, but it's the same song. You might be able to play it a little differently or put a spin on it or this and that and the other, but the core of the song, the lyric, what it is, needs to stay true. And that can change at different points in your career and as people find out about you or they grow with you. But as a comedian, you can't run the same joke over and over again.
Yeah,
you gotta
can. Yeah, you can.
Well,
I've been making a pretty good living at it.
yeah.
You're the only one though.
I think you might be the only one.
Me and Porter talk about that. Like you have a stairway to heaven in your back
that's
pocket.
a good way of looking at it.
In your back pocket. That dude, and I've seen you do it 15 times live, and it never. The pop is bigger every single time. That's what's wild. Like you have, and I've talked about this before on other podcasts. You've had the hardest job in the entertainment industry. And what I mean by that is, guess what? I can play Second Chance forever. And people are going to come.
Yeah.
Once you release, like that'd be like us releasing a record and then we can never play one of those songs again after the record comes out. So you work.
Or one record and those are all the songs you play.
You know, you go out on,
you don't write any more
tour.
records.
You go out on tour and then once you get your hour ready and then you film the special and you do the hour. Once you do the hour, those jokes are dead. You other than your Stairway to Heaven, you can't go back and do those jokes again. That'd be like us being like, all right, we wrote the record, we put out the record. Oh, now we got to write all new songs, or we can't go out on tour again. That is so wild, man. That's how you guys have to do it. And now that I've started doing this thing with Chris Porter and like doing the stand-up thing, dude, it's the hardest thing in the world. Like I can go on stage right now in front of 80,000 people, not have nerve one, and be like it's riding a bike for me.
I'm the opposite.
He's the opposite. He gets nervous every single time we go on stage.
I'd be more terrified if I wasn't because it lets me know I'm alive. But that's just me.
I get anxious. I'm like, it's 6 p.m. and I'm like, when is it going to be 8:55? I want to go on stage right now. I'm going to rip these fucking walls out of the building. And he's the one who gets nervous. But like, as a comedian, like going on stage and stand-up is the most terrifying thing. Because like I can hide behind a guitar. If I had a bad note, I got 3 other people up there with me that I can be like, no, that wasn't me, that was him. Or you know what I mean? Like I can like blame it on somebody else. Like, dude, holding a microphone in front of people is the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life.
It's also too where you're at in your career and as you evolve and this circle of people that you're coming up with and what have you. I know that this is a fact just in the comedic world. You're in a very, very small percentage of comedians that can play arenas.
Yeah. You're in rare airspace.
Yeah, that's massive.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I'm not good at accepting any compliment, but
I'm with you.
Yeah,
man, you earned it.
Well, yeah, it's funny. The thing I like is the new material. So I'm cool with scrapping hours because I love the math.
Yeah.
I love when you figure it out. Like I had this new bit that I'm telling in my new special that as it happened, it was so real. And then I took it on stage the next night and it popped, and in the middle of telling it, I went, oh, I've got a better thing for that. And it's like almost like you go, can I just tell that one more time? And then you get to hold for it for a day and think it over. And then when you go to deliver it, that math, that energy of math for me is so exciting that it's the thing. I just figured out another one of my jokes. I was like, fuck, why didn't and then you start regretting that you didn't put that in earlier. And you go, I feel like I let down all those other fans that didn't see the new version of that.
I want to go back and play that city so I can do that thing.
The worst is when you do a special and then you're trying to write your new hour and the special hasn't aired and you get to do the old hour to figure out new hours. Mm-hmm. And you think of a fucking tag that's so much better and you're like, fuck.
That's crazy, man, that it is in a way, it is so much akin to songwriting because, you know, you can write a chorus or something like that and go, wait, I have something better. And you can go back and finish it. Or the song's already out and you're like, man, I could have done that differently.
Do you guys have a lyric that you go, are there songs you look back and you go, we left the placeholder in, we recorded it, it's out. God damn it. I wish I had put that in instead. Sometimes I'll see like Blind Melon is one of my favorite bands ever.
Oh, wow.
And
I did not know that.
Obsessed. I was obsessed with Blind Melon for a very, very, very long time. And I would watch them record a song on that first album, and then I see them play it live, and he changed the lyrics, and I liked the way he sang it that way. And then when I play the song, I sing it the way he sung it that way.
He does that on Change a lot. He would change lyrics to Change a lot.
I want that song played at my funeral.
It's a great
It's my
song.
favorite fucking song.
We've played it live a couple
No,
times.
you have not.
Like once on his birthday, I think. We found out it was his birthday and we played it. Me and you played it.
Maybe.
Right
Yeah.
before we did Simple Man, we played it.
That's
What a tortured guy, man.
just, and by the way, this great advertisement for not doing coke.
Yeah.
Just party in New Orleans.
That was pre-fentanyl too.
Yeah, party in
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Gets in his bunk.
Yeah.
Doesn't wake up.
Man, so this is, I've never told
The
him.
coolest thing in rock and roll is to not be a cliche
Yeah. Don't
in this day and age.
You never want to
Yeah.
be found. That's our rule in our band. Not to be funny about it, but I have a friend of mine. I'm not gonna say his name, but he worked for 2 bands, and he had that happen to him twice. He was Blind Melon's tour manager, so he's the one who went to open. He found Shannon Hoon, and then he was also working for Drowning Pool when the original singer of Drowning Pool died. I was like, dude, you had to go through this twice, and he ended up retiring like not long after the Drowning Pool thing. But yeah, he was the tour manager for both bands and had to find both of his singers dead.
Jesus.
That's a wild thing, man, to think
Wonder if
about
at a
that.
certain point, he was like, maybe it's me.
I wonder if I'm causing this. I can't work anymore because they're going to find the next.
But do you have placeholders in songs where you look at the lyrics now and you go, I'm a better songwriter. I wish we had done that.
I don't.
Man, that's an interesting question that's never really been put in that term.
We may have
before.
placeholders. I don't know if we've
Demos,
ever looked back.
I
yet.
will tell you that. Like demos, when songs that didn't get released, like we might have recorded them, but they didn't make the album or what have you, which there are some instances where like you go back. Again, just because a song is 6 years old, 7 years old, no one's ever heard it though.
Yeah.
You go in and you go, hang on, I know what to do now.
Oh.
And then you go back in with more modernized version of the song and then you re-record it. You put the words in now because either maybe you had 70% of it, but you didn't have all 100. And again, it's songwriting. It's never perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's just supposed to be real. But I mean, there are instances where we've gone back and we've heard a song that we had in the vault and looked at it and said, hey, let's try this again and see if we can update it. You know what I mean? So there are moments like that. We had a song during the pandemic called Atlas Falls that had never been released, and we utilized it during the pandemic to work with an organization called Direct Relief. We unearthed the song to the public and tied it with this organization. We raised $500,000 with them for COVID-19 response and all that. But we utilized this song, and the song ended up getting on radio, and it, you download the song, and that money would go to Direct Relief because it would be attached to a T-shirt for the song, which was called Atlas Falls. So that's how we raised the money, was that way. And then the song just took off on radio for whatever
It was just
reason.
a demo.
Yeah, and it was just a demo, but it, I always said to myself, Atlas will eventually someday find its place. I just had no idea that it was going to be that.
It's weird though, because when you're doing it though, when you put a placeholder in, like when we're writing a song, we're in the studio, no one has to hear it. No one ever has to hear the placeholder. When you're doing it
you
live,
can just go, hey, let's figure that out.
they don't
real
hear the
quick.
song till we finish
yeah.
the whole deal. So it's not like we start writing a song
like the
backstage.
public, other people have heard it, but the public hadn't heard it just yet.
It's not like we start writing a song backstage and go, let's go try this tonight. Even if the lyrics aren't done, we'll play it anyway.
Yeah.
Like you got to go up on stage and be like, even though the placeholder's in there, like that's what's different about it. That's what's kind of crazy.
This show is sponsored by DraftKings. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out as the NBA postseason winds down. It is super easy to get started with DraftKings if you're a first-timer. Try betting on something like a team to win. Go to DraftKings, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It is that simple. And if you're new to DraftKings, which I am not, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Bertcast. That's code Bertcast for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. The thing about being a guy is we're pretty much stuck with what we've got appearance-wise. Male makeup, what, to go along with my powdered wig? A pec push-up bra? What would the bros say? Meggings that accentuate this caboose? Dude, there are kids out there. Finally, MeUndies is unveiling their latest gift to help men feel big. The contoured pouch and amp. The ball caddy, the micro modal sling. keeps things separate and lifted. 9 out of 10 women swear this sophisticated brief technology will make you look huge. And that's all that matters. I am telling you right now, style for everyone, from all black classics to fun expressive prints. MeUndies has everything, something for everyone. Plus, they come in sizes extra small to 4XL, guaranteeing a flattering cut for every body. This is how I want to look in underwear. I put them on. Dare I say I feel sexy and I look sexy. And I will tell you, it pays off in the bedroom. Good things come in big packages at MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Bertcast. That's MeUndies.com/Bertcast for 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies. Comfort from the outside in. Did you ever hear a song? Because I was saying this to the people downstairs, and they're so dull or dim-witted people. All the ladies that work for me. And I said,
there's a whole bunch of them down there too. You sure all of them?
Fucking hired. And fucking Me Too really fucked me. I could be getting tons of ass. But I was saying to them, I was like, I wonder if they ever. Everyone said this was the dumbest question in the world. And I think, but I go, I wonder if they ever like was working on a song and then heard a song and go, oh, we were working on something really close to that chord structure. Or you hear a song and you go, oh, we were about to fuck. Because it's parallel thinking in comedy. I'll see a guy that does something and I'll go, fuck, I was just working on something identical to that. That's why I stopped joke writing. Because I wasn't a good enough joke writer, set up punch to not have other people have similar thoughts.
And listen, it's kind of like music, right? There's 12 notes on a guitar. Or
I'm
any
blown
instrument.
away. I've told you, I'm going through a weird moment with my
playing
guitars
guitar,
a lot. And I'm like so amazed that first of all, fuck the F chord. That's the dumbest chord in the world. It's the dumbest fucking chord. It's so stupid. I wish I'd get rid of all Fs. And you guys fucking love that chord. Fucking
we do.
Love it. It's such a fucking it's like that. Everything D is like, hey. G is like, hey.
Right.
C is like, I know G. And then F's like, hey guys. And you're like, what the fuck? But
F chord is like back in the day. F
is
chord
like
is
the
Mike
cousin.
Tyson's punch out, getting to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's your
F
chord.
is like the autistic cousin, dude.
Yeah,
For sure, dude.
Yeah, it just goes like, I'm going to be difficult for dinner, and you've got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you can't say anything.
I'm gluten free.
By the way, how great is Love on the Spectrum? Have you seen that?
No, but I always hear.
Okay, then leave it there. Leave it there. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Just
I've
watch
seen
it.
a couple episodes.
And all you're going to think is,
Shane
why didn't I
talk
date
about
more
it.
autistic people?
I hear.
They are so fucking direct. I don't like you. I don't want to date you. I kind of want to kiss you. And you're like, that's the girl I've been looking for.
I mean, yeah.
Fucking non-autistic chicks playing games all
Just
day.
get to the point.
Hey, what do you want for dinner? Chicken noodle soup. Like,
Yeah.
It's like instead of being like, well, I don't know, what do you want for dinner?
I like the smell of earth.
Just say birth.
The
Earth.
There's
Earth.
one
Like the smell of birth.
Oh, you said I like the smell of birth.
I watched it with Isla, and I was like, I fell in love with an autistic dude. I was like, fuck, I'd date that guy. Shout out to Mike. He's fucking awesome. He's
By
like,
the way, it's always a mic.
It's always Mike.
dude,
It's always a mic.
I was working on this bit. I was working on this bit about autism or whatever. And then I watched that show
Whatever
and
it's
it fucked
called.
my bit up because I was like, I can't make a joke about autism because I love these people so much. Like
I hear people
I'm-
talk about it. Shane talks about it all the time.
Shane was the one that turned me on to it.
Yeah.
He was like, have you said something about Love on the Spectrum? So is it good? And he went, watch it. And Isla turned it on and she was like, you're about to fall in love with every single person on here. And then you fall in love with their parents because their parents are just like,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it now.
this one
I'm gonna
guy
have to
sits
watch
down with his girlfriend's parents and he goes, I understand you didn't want her to date me at first. And the dad's like, fuck, you too? We got two of you guys in the room? I guess we're all going to be fucking honest in here?
Yeah.
It's like, is it okay if I called you a big old Mike? And the dad's like, yeah. It's the greatest show on television. It's so binge worthy. What the fuck are we talking about?
Oh, the F chord and song.
The F
Oh,
chord.
yeah, the F chord.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm playing that, and then I'm playing Tennessee Jed,
Yeah.
and it's the same chords, but it's not even recognizably the same chords.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then there's one fucked up one that
No
they
one's
play.
ever said Grateful Dead songs are easy to play, by the way.
Wait, they're not
No.
really?
They
Jerry Gar-
sound simple. They're
Jerry
not.
Garcia was very innovative on guitar. Very innovative. It's probably all the fucking drugs. But
I can't figure out like
What's the hardest chord for you to play?
I do this weird E minor diminished thing that I don't hear a lot of people do, but that's a tough one. I had wrist surgery when did I have it? 2016.
Yeah.
There's a part during our song Unity where it's not a
Shout
chord.
out to Paul.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Paul Nassab, my surgeon. I do this one thing where every once in a while I feel something pop in my wrist and it hurts so bad. So if you ever see me playing that song and I have my guitar up on my knee, I have to do it because I can't. It hurts. Really
Oh, is that the one on Unity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like a big scar on my wrist. But yeah, he saved my career, man. I couldn't do. We got into this thing where we started working out together about over 10 years ago now. And we would be in the truck and like, it's always fun and it's hazing and a little bit too, but we would do Insanity all the time. And we were getting to the point where we were doing the hour-long ones and doing the abs. So we were working out for 90 minutes a day, like doing this stuff in the back of a semi-truck. And I would start doing push-ups and I was like, I can't do push-ups. I was like, oh, you pussy. Like we're just trying to get each other into it. Like,
oh yeah.
And I remember our bass player like doing it. And I finally had to look at him and go, I think something's wrong with me. Like, please stop calling me a pussy. I'm getting sensitive. Like something's wrong. And then I went and I had this huge ganglion cyst. It got so big, it started to push on my nerves. So when I'd put my hand down, my hand would go numb. So I ended up having to have a surgery. And at first I got it drained a couple times, which is super gnarly because it's this huge needle.
Would love to get a cyst drained.
No, you don't. I can tell you right now, you don't.
I want it on my thigh because I want to watch.
No, you don't.
Dude, it was so bad. And they started draining it. So then finally it started hurting so bad that it was affecting my playing and I had to have surgery about it. But yeah, it was very, very strange. But anyway, yeah, there's certain chords for me that like are a bitch.
Who are your, like, I know the people I love to watch. Who are the people that you love to watch, but that people wouldn't know? Like, I think everyone, like, okay, this is going to sound like a fucked up thing that I'm about to say, but I didn't know John Mayer was as good as he is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew he was good, right? But all of a sudden I started realizing, John Mayer is like extremely proficient.
And very talented. He knows a lot about music.
Yeah.
He's very musically inclined as a person. The person for me when I was younger, my John Mayer for you was Prince. I didn't know. When I was younger, I thought Prince was just the guy with the assless chaps who played the Batman song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get older and you're like, oh, one of the greatest musicians maybe ever in anything.
Yeah.
And wrote so many songs for other people. To me, one that no one really would know from me is, I think, probably the greatest, maybe the greatest living guitar player is Brad Paisley, I think.
Really?
Absolutely. I don't know if there's anybody better than him as far as just efficiency of playing. Wow. I mean, truly one of the best guitar players I've ever seen. And like while he's singing too, it's kind of freaky. And there's like, listen, we live in a world
you get
now
in
where
those picking patterns and those people. Like you have like, Lindsey Buckingham, who is arguably probably one of the finest guitar players on earth, but also like Dire Straits.
Martin Knopfler.
That guy's on a different level. And then the one,
incredibly underrated.
The one solo king, Gilmore. Yeah. Pink Floyd, David Gilmour.
Oh, I thought you were saying Gilmore Girls.
No. Totally
Great
different,
solos.
different podcast.
Yeah.
Different podcast.
Pink Floyd was that was my Pop My Cherry of guitar playing.
Yeah.
Down, 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 down.
Oh, Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, and that was like my first song I learned was She Talks to Angels.
Yeah.
I ran into Chris Robinson at dinner the other night.
Oh, I heard all about
Creeped
it.
him out.
I heard all about how you
him out.
I heard all about how you introduced yourself to him.
Oh, that's right.
How did you introduce yourself?
I got a FaceTime at like 10 a.m. and he goes, I got to tell you this about our boy. I go, what? He went up to him and goes, hey, I'm best friends with Chris Robinson.
I was with a Chris.
said
I was
that to
eating
Chris
dinner with a
Robinson.
Chris. I see Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
And I know that Chris Porter knows Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
I had my
you're
martini. I'm in.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm famous.
Yeah. People know who you are.
I like a part of me goes,
You don't work at AutoZone, bro.
Show
People
a little
know.
face. He's like, hey, the machine. I'm waiting for that moment. Did not happen.
Yeah.
Did not happen.
Hey, man, this is a man that just rekindled his relationship with his brother after 7 years. So,
Yeah.
in hindsight.
He had a lot going on.
He
in his
had a
head.
lot going
I'm
on.
sure working on some stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked up. I was like, hey, man. And he was like, hi. And I was like, okay, doesn't recognize her face. Cool. Cool. All right, we're there. Now I'm panicking because I was like, I thought this was going to go
I'm already here.
I was waiting for you to lift your shirt up and be like, hey. And then I was like, I'm friends with Chris. And he goes, Chris who? And I went, fuck, we're further away from the target. And I was like, I thought you'd say Chris Porter, but you didn't. And now I go, Chris Robinson. And he goes, I'm Chris Robinson. And I went, you're not him. And then and I'm eating
I didn't hear
dinner.
that part.
I'm eating dinner with a guy named Chris Cole, and who's a professional skateboarder. And I'm like, Chris, the comedian. And he goes, Chris Porter. And I went, I know him. And he went, cool. And I went, cool. And I just walked away. And Whitney Cummings with this, she goes, how did it go? I go, not good. She goes, I recorded it all.
Oh,
And
I saw you post it. Whitney posted
Whitney
it. You reposted
fucking
it.
recorded it. I sat down. I go, that did not go well. I was like, fuck.
Big gulps, huh? See you later.
Oh man, that was a tough one. And
I
then,
love how that just sounds like a Saturday night for you.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm bad. My mom's worse. My mom ran into Cedric the Entertainer and lost her fucking shit on Ventura Avenue. It was like, the Entertainer. I go, it's not his last name, Mom. She's like, Cedric. I was like, fuck, this gets worse.
How was Cedric? Was he cool?
He was great because he recognized me.
Oh.
And so we were
Well, see, you got
so
recognized.
it was a little easier, and I'm a huge fan. I was King's Comedy was like one of
I'm a huge dude. The Bernie Mac set in Kings of Comedy is one of the funniest comedy sets I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, sadly, when I retell the story, I often mix up Bernie Mac and Cedric, and I go, I ran into Bernie Mac the other day. And everyone's like, where?
Yeah, where?
What kind of fucking mushrooms were you doing to run into Bernie Mac?
I'm always shocked that I am shocked if anyone knows me, like, because I'm a fan first. So if anyone knows me,
That's
I'm always
me.
blown away. Like I joke about Chris Robinson. There's a part of me that is true, that I do want, go, sometimes you'll see famous people and they'll know you, but when Cedric the Entertainer
See right there.
recognized me, I was like, shut up, you know who I am? And he was like, yeah, of course.
You're in like this. Here's the thing. You guys are the rock stars now. You really are.
Yeah, imagine if your rock stars told you all their secrets. It's not sexy.
Well, I don't know, but like there's like certain people. It's like you, Tom, Theo, and there's all these guys that can now do arenas and stuff like that. It's like everyone, if I go to see who, I'm Instagram creeper and I'll go see who follows who, and like I'll go, well, I'm gonna follow this person. Who do they follow? Every person follows you. Every person follows Tom. Every person follows Theo. Every person now is starting to follow Shane and Joe. It's like you guys, it's like this clique of like rock stars now. It's like you guys are the people who can go and you get recognized everywhere you go because of that thing. Like that's a cool thing, man, because you think back in the day, right? Almost pre-pandemic. How many comedians could do arenas? 3?
Oh, pre-pandemic.
3, 4?
It was Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Even
Chappelle wasn't doing it. Probably could have, but wasn't doing it.
No, Chappelle just chose not to.
Yeah, he just chose not to.
I heard
he still will choose a club over.
I heard Chappelle say, I don't know where I heard this, so this may be inaccurate, but that Kevin Hart was the first person that let him know he could do arenas.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Hart was doing arenas and he was like, Chris
They
Rock
did
tonight.
stadiums.
Yeah.
When we went to Philly and did that. Now I think it was the Now What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But pre-pandemic, I mean, theaters were a big fucking lift, ticket-wise for us, because usually what you'd sell in one night in a theater would be your whole weekend.
Yeah.
So then to say, I'm going to be there Wednesday, I need all the people that would have seen me throughout the weekend show up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That was a huge lift, but it wasn't. Now it's gotten really,
There's a
comedy's in a
lot
good
of
place.
comedians like you, Theo, Burr, Tom. All these people can do Sebastian. All these people can do Chappelle, Rock. All these people can do arenas now. But like I remember I saw you came to Memphis and did the theater, and then I went and saw you, and then it was like 3 months later you announced new dates, and it was all arenas.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wild.
It's tough though when it's that many people. It's it's
Throwing it to the back can be tough.
No.
Or do you think it?
No, the hardest part is pacing your career.
Yeah.
Because meaning like when you're selling, say, 19,000 tickets on a Thursday, that is everyone that wanted to see you in that city.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
And you got to give them time. Like I paced it right, but I'm at a place where I go, I need to take a break. I need to be I need to take a break and take time for me, but I also need time for like my fans to go fucking do other like you need to live a life almost but moving that many tickets is like you can't think you're gonna go do an arena tour every year.
No.
You got it. Arenas like you can do theater tours straight for 5 years.
Yeah.
You do an arena tour, you got to take 9 months off.
Yeah.
Theater tour, you're also because you can leave people outside the door, and then the next time you come
but
back.
a comedian too, you're usually roughly an hour. It's not really an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm an hour 45.
He's an hour.
You're
He's
an hour
long,
45?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd be in my world of looking at that, like that's a bit of an anomaly because when I see specials like on, all the streaming services, what have you, most of them are an hour.
Yeah,
that's probably condensed.
I skinny mine up to an hour when I record it.
But
And you have how many? You'll do 4 comedians total when you go out?
I'll bring on probably 3 comedians before me.
Who are your top 3 like new killers out there right now?
I can't say everyone got fucking famous. Like guys that were opening for me a year ago, 2 years ago, are all famous.
Okay.
I'm like massively fucking famous. Like it's funny, I do that summer festival Fully Loaded, and there are so many people that I just simply cannot offer the show to because they're, first of all, they're more famous than I am, and the money would never make sense to them.
I don't know if they're more famous than you.
There's a fucking there's definitely like or equally as famous. Like they're at a level where they should make $500,000 for that one show, and I can't offer that.
Yeah.
And so in a weird way, it's like
that's something that we have a hard time with sometimes when you heard like in our industry it becomes the co-headline.
Yeah.
Where it's like your friends that you come up with, but it's like, well, I want to do this with you, but you can't decide who's supposed to be what. And it's always the idea is like, well, whoever closes is really the headliner.
Yeah.
But you do a co-headline because it's the same amount of time, same money.
We took Jelly Roll on tour to open for us, and then the next year we were doing another tour, and we were like, he kind of started the conversation at the beginning of the tour of like, man, let's do this again next year. And me and him were like, we would love to do this next year, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're not ever opening for anyone ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we saw that like
we saw that
super
from miles away.
And rightfully so, man, because he's the absolute best.
Yeah, he is. He's like, let me know your Fully Loaded dates. I want to hop on some of them.
Yeah.
And he just comes out and sings a couple songs,
It's
sings
awesome.
the national anthem with me.
Great.
And then and he's the best hang in the world. No, there's like, there's people that I like. It's so funny is we did the show in Vegas and I was with Shane like a couple weeks before, and he was like, I mean, I don't know how much in the weeds I can get into this.
And Shane just did Saturday Night Live.
It was he knew he was doing Saturday Night Live at the time.
Oh, he did.
I knew
Okay.
he was doing Saturday Night Live, and I knew that it would be announced before we were doing the arena show. And I had said to Shane,
Dude, that's dope. Those singing Shane and Nate through SNL. That's badass. When are you doing SNL?
never,
Come on, man.
never.
Yeah, I tell you what, you host it and we'll play.
We'll play. We'll
Okay,
get you
done.
some guests.
Lauren, did you hear that?
Lauren, if you're out there, let's go, man. Come on.
Call me, Lauren.
We were together and I was like, I knew how good his special was. I knew how good it did.
Yeah.
And I knew what tickets he was moving just in the friend circle of like what venues he's doing. And I was like, hey, I want you to come open for us, me and Tom, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. He was like, I'm in. And he was going to the football game for the Super Bowl. And Shane's the best hang you'll ever have. He's one of the best hangs you'll ever fucking have in your life. And he's just great in that whole thing because Shane's good with like texting the boys and being like, yo, I'm going to be here. Why don't you come out? And then all of a sudden you got a bunch of cage fighters and fucking linemen that are in your green room. He just is the best. He is the best. And I said, and we were talking and he was like, we should do another night at the arena. And we had wanted to, we had wanted to, but it just wasn't working with our schedule for the release of the vodka. We had things planned in that actual arena that we needed to do. And I was like, we should do that. And I called my agent and I was like, yo, can we do another night at the arena? It's going to be me, Tom, Shane, and Bobby Lee. And he was like, I don't know why Shane needs you. Like he could just do the arena on his own. And we were like, oh, fuck, yeah. And then you're like, oh, God. Like he's one of the biggest draws. I mean, he's doing Netflix as a joke. I don't know if anyone knows this. I don't know if this is common knowledge. He did the Greek. Everyone was set up to do one night, one place.
Yeah.
He did the Greek, and they were like, wow, that sold out so fast. They put him at the Forum. That sold out so fast. They're like, let's put him at the Crypto Arena. He's doing the fucking Greek, the Forum, and the Staples Center in 1 week.
That's amazing.
I mean, yeah, that's almost 40,000 tickets, maybe.
And that, when I say, like, I reached out, I'm like, I want Shane on Fully Loaded, but when I reach out, I'm like, I can't.
You never know, man.
I don't have $1 million in my pocket to give you to do the show.
But I would think that he would just do it.
He would just he would just do it.
Shane is always the guy that's like, he wants to hang. It's not about money for him.
Yeah.
It's about the fun.
It's also about where you
beers.
came from and the people who gave you the shot first. Like, you know, if there's bands that probably, if they called us and were like, hey, man, we don't have the budget to do this, but like, will you come out and do a couple shows? We'd probably do it. Just because, like, you know, you got like, those things are fun too, man. Just to go out, if you can be around, like, especially now, like we've gotten to the point now where we only want to tour the bands that we want to tour with.
Oh,
like,
it was the interesting thing about that story, which I think is fascinating, is Tom and I, I'm speaking on Tom's behalf. He can deny anything I want to say. Tom and I weren't worried who was closing the show. We were worried who was following Shane.
Yeah.
Like, that was the fucking spot. And we're both very competent comedians, but we have to do 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And we know Shane's doing 15, and we know it's going to be fucking thunder.
Yeah. Because
we're like,
he's bringing the heavy bag for 15.
Bobby Lee, Shane's standing ovation when he got on stage was like fucking 3 minutes long when he got on stage. When he left the stage, it was like, all right, time to reset the room. Does everyone want to go to the bathroom real quick? Like, it was like, and Tom went up after him, and Tom fucking destroyed. But I'll tell you, that's old school Tom Segura energy, where he was like, okay, it's time to put on the fucking work boots. I got to fucking.
Yeah.
But that's,
and I was like, I'll definitely go last. I'll go last. Yeah, sure.
Do you feel like that's what you want though? Like we always say that. Like we've toured with bands where, like, no offense, I'm not gonna name any names, and like, but no offense to those bands where I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna go up there and do our thing, and we're gonna have a good time, and it's our crowd, and we're good. And we've also toured with bands where I'm like, well, I better tie these fucking things a little tighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's happened a lot, and it's like I like that.
Oh, I
like
it.
the pressure of that.
When we do Fully Loaded, I close the shows, and it's always after fucking monsters.
Just people are killing all night long.
Monsters and murdering, and all very stylistically different.
Yeah.
By the way, I need to ask you this question. Where did the murdering thing come from in comedian like language?
I don't know. It's always been kill, murder, slaughter.
We always say it about, we always say murder. Like I always say that about other
like
bands.
there's always like the emphasis on the M, murder.
Yeah.
They murdered. Like I find it fascinating.
We should change it to more like a more PC term. Like we turn them into allies.
I don't know if that's going to have the same ring.
Them.
It's just
allied them.
We allied them. Dude.
I woke that crowd. They're so
open their minds.
They were very responsive.
They were very responsive.
I don't know.
That crowd was very behold.
Yeah, you don't get to say it for I think you hear other people say it when you're a young comic, and you don't get to say it. And then when you do kill, you're like someone will be like, you just killed. You're like, there we go.
Yeah, killed it. I mean, I've always said that about bands too. Like if we're on a festival, those are really the times for us. We headline these festivals, and we'll go and there's
it's like summer camp.
Bands. Yeah, it's like
that's why I do Fully Loaded.
Which
is and by the way, selflessly, I say selfishly, I do make money, but selflessly, it is just selfishly. Maybe is what the word I'm looking for. Selfishly, the reason I put it on is to hang out with my friends. I called Big J Okerson today. We were laughing. I said I fucking love Big J so much. Have you ever been Rolfed?
What?
Do you know what Rolfing is?
I do not know, but I'm ready. Let's have it.
So Rolfing is a very aggressive massage. I'm driving with Peter through Hollywood, and I go, "That's my Rolfer's office." And he goes, "What's Rolfing?" I said, "It's a type of
like
massage.
Turkish bathhouse like massage."
No, it's more aggressive.
Okay,
they get in
more aggressive.
Abusive.
Okay,
it's abusive. And there's my Rolfer.
Abusive.
My Rolfer has a
Rolfing massage. There it is.
He has.
I just don't like the way he's holding that guy's shoulder.
They go in and they manipulate your fascia in the most aggressive way possible, where it's not really massage. They're breaking up broken tissue. And my Rolfer has a sign on the ceiling that you stare at, and it says, "Go to the white light."
Really? Wow.
And on our first visit, his name's Don. On my first visit, he said, like 5 minutes in, he goes, "Hey, you can scream if you want. This room's soundproof." And I was like, "For real?" And I screamed. He gets into your scapula. He said to me, he goes, "This is how fucked up Rolfing is." He goes, now I'm telling you all this to tell the Big J story, but he goes, "You have a problem in your shoulder?" And I did. And I was like, "No." And he was like, you got something going on your shoulder. I go, don't, please. And he goes, this is going to hurt. and when he said it was going to hurt, it was crazy. And then I said, and Pete goes, can it get too aggressive? And I go, I got to have Big J tell you the story. Big J's just the funnest, silliest guy. I go, Big J, do you remember when we got Rolf together? And he goes, with Dion Cole, and he started coughing up blood. Yeah, I remember.
Oh my God.
He coughed up blood. It's on the cabin. He was coughing up blood, and blood was coming out of his fucking nose. And Don's like, this is normal.
You had Don come to the cabin.
I had Don come out. I'd only seen him like fucking 3 or 4 times, and I brought him
do you
out.
want to come on my show?
And Don's like, sure, I'll Rolf some guys.
Oh,
And then what he was
I hate that you keep saying it. It's my butthole hurts.
It
when
hurts
you say it.
so bad. It hurts so bad. If you have plantar fasciitis, that's what I went from originally.
He's talking about how he might have it now in his feet.
I know. I got it fixed. It went away.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get it from time to time when I walk barefoot too much.
Yeah.
But he would Rolf me.
Mm-hmm.
He would do inside here. He would do your shins, your calves.
Yeah.
He would Rolf in your, and I'm saying, imagine if I said, hey, can I see if I can break your foot? That's what he would do. And I mean, he'd get into your toes, and he does this thing. I don't know if I can say that he does this because I don't know if it's totally legal.
Let me see if I can break your foot.
I don't know if it's totally legal.
He Rolfs in your mouth.
In what regard?
Come on, you're fucking around now.
Put in mouth Rolfing.
Let's
Stop.
go.
Don't.
No. Let's go.
You're about to end up on a fucking watch list.
No, we're good.
They got
ExpressVPN on this stuff. It's fine.
ExpressVPN.
They got it. Don't worry about it.
Rolfing mouth.
Relieves stress by they Ralph inside your jaw. And I was like,
I'm assuming this is fingers in the mouth.
Fingers
Rolfing.
in the mouth.
I've gotten massaged inside my mouth with gloves on. They put gloves on.
It's like that, but
they wasn't aggressive though.
It's all for TGM.
He's got TMJ.
Yeah. But he goes in your jaw and gets in your mouth, gets on, and they wouldn't let us do it on the show. We did it on the cabin, and they wouldn't let it. Anthony Anderson's like, I'll do it. Anthony Anderson got Rolfed, and he had been getting Rolfed a bunch because he had hip problems as a kid.
I love that you won't say Anthony Anderson had it done. You just keep saying the name, and it gets dirtier every time you say it.
We Rolfed the fuck out of him. I don't even know if it was consensual.
Unconsensual Rolfing.
Look, they get
there's all these nerves in the back
name.
of your jaw where they're like
take a picture of it right there. They go
he's got his finger in his nose.
They go in your fucking nose.
Fuck that.
It's crazy.
I'm out. And I do a lot of.
What is up with this nana thing in the middle there?
Rolling on the floor laughing. That's what they're thinking about.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're big body maintenance guys. Remember when we played the baseball stadium and you came out and your whole tour crew got adjusted by our chiropractor?
Yeah, your chiropractor was there. I was like,
which one?
It's Mark Lucky.
Oh, you got luckied.
Yeah.
You guys changed the way I toured because I saw that. You guys were like, yeah, we work out. We get a massage. It's really about like keeping your body healthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now when we go into these arenas, we get the access to the gym.
Yeah.
We work out like crazy. We have a trainer used to travel with us. We'd have a trainer travel with us, and we'd have compression boots. Like we did everything. But I'm really focused on health on the road, and I wasn't when I ran into you guys.
It's game changing.
Oh man, I remember when I was out with you, we did the cold plunges.
Yeah.
And then you did the workout with your trainer. But yeah, dude, the massage thing is very important to us. Like we used to do massage chiro every day. Now it's massage every day, chiro every 3 days.
I know. I don't do the chiro or the massage. I just do
Really?
the workout.
Yeah,
I haven't been touched by a masseuse or a chiropractor in a little while.
Or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah, there's that.
He hasn't been touched by anyone in a long. He hasn't been Rolfed either. I don't think.
No one wants to Rolf me.
He needs a good Rolfing, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, get Rolfed one time.
Okay.
Dude, fuck around and get Rolfed.
Yeah.
They will fucking, especially if you have scalp, like shoulder or back problems.
Yeah.
He got into my armpit and I thought he was giving me cancer. It hurt so bad. I was like this.
I thought he was giving me cancer.
It was fucking bad.
Man.
So what's your, are you guys on tour right now?
No, we're doing, as of right now, we're doing like 10, 12 shows this year. That may change, but
Really?
We're mostly just like the single is crossing over to pop radio. So
You guys played it on Elvis Duran the other day.
Yeah, we
did.
Elvis Duran yesterday.
First time.
And then we did
It was blast.
we were at the iHeart Awards last night. So.
It's a really great song.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really
Appreciate it.
cool to watch. It's really fun to see music created.
Yeah, it's been since, with this type of a cross, it's been since about, Second Chance. Because when we crossed that, we crossed five formats with that, and it went all the way to number one across the board. In the
What does that mean,
United States.
five formats?
So you have, there's AAA, which is like a very, very modest adult contemporary. So this kind of like classic rock stuff, like soft rock, and some of it's modern day music, and then some of the 80s, 90s, what have you. Then you have Hot AC, which is essentially pop radio, without like hip hop or like rappers, I guess you would say, maybe. I don't know. It kind of just depends, although that's not really the case anymore. But anyhow, so yeah, AAA, you got Hot AC, then you have active rock, mainstream rock, alternative, and then you have the Juggernaut, which is top 40.
So it's been on all.
So 5 of those, for one song to be on all 5 of those formats.
A Symptom of Being Human came out a year ago as a single, and it's just still doing this.
Really?
Like won't quit, which is great. Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, and you bring the dynamic earlier. You were talking about just like, finances and streaming and what have you. The band that we're in was built by the radio, and this ideology in the last like couple of years that like radio is dying and radio is dead. People that don't understand how to utilize radio in North America, they would say that it's dead. Couldn't be further from the truth, because radio in North America is ultimately what can give you a career. The streaming is going to give you an awareness, but radio can give you a career. So when you're looking at it, some people will say, what do you mean? How does that happen? Well, in the US, I'm not talking from a global standpoint. There's radio globally too. They're different. But in the United States, you have 50 states. Inside those 50 states, you have multiple cities. Inside those multiple cities, you have multiple towers. You have multiple formats of radio. The other thing too about the radio is the fact that like if the grid goes down, all you have is the radio. Like that signal is all you have to survive, So ultimately, how we look at it is the expansion of the awareness of music is much greater now because of streaming and the way that people consume it. But again, there's so many songs. And so if you can find a way into these formats and allow yourself to be looked at as not an artist that can be put into a box, meaning that your music shouldn't be put into a box. You should be able to evolve. And the one thing that I have to say about radio, specifically with our band, 7 records in, they've always been there for us. And in the United States, they've always been one of the main reasons why we can sell the amount of tickets we can. And look, there's a great line in the movie Moneyball where Brad Pitt tells Jonah Hill, adapt or die.
Ooh,
there's a couple ways of looking at that though. Just don't ever walk in and write a song because you think it'll make you famous. Write a song because you got something to say.
Don't write it for TikTok.
Who spends recklessly in your group?
Recklessly?
Like, does anyone spend? Because Tom spends recklessly.
Really?
Tom buys things where I go, wait, how much money do we make? Tom buys stuff where he goes, like, every time I'm
well, I can tell you this, none of us are, except him, because he has, friends. But like, none of us really we're not on private planes a lot. Yeah. So,
What do you mean?
Well,
I'm on a private plane a lot?
No, yeah.
But I'm not paying for it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have friends.
That's not a reckless spender though if I'm not paying for it.
Everybody thinks
shout
I'm
out to
reckless.
Mark Scogan for letting me use this plane all the time.
Everybody probably thinks I'm reckless because I don't own a home or anything, but I live out of hotels and what have you. But for what I do,
so wait, where do you keep your stuff?
I have 2 suitcases.
He doesn't have stuff,
and that's it.
Really?
He doesn't have
I
stuff.
have guitars.
It's so funny. Can I just say something?
Yeah,
very,
go for
very
it.
odd. I was like, wow, he's wearing the same shoes he wore on the interview I saw the other day, and then I was like, oh, he's probably. Now that you're saying that, I was like, oh, he probably only has like 4 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, these are my favorite shoes in the world.
So whenever he'll wear
Symptom
those
of Being Human video, these are the shoes.
Those are the shoes from the music video.
I know.
So he'll wear these until
I saw them and I was like, oh, because I'm a shoe guy a little
That's
bit.
a Nike.
And I was like, I wonder if Zach got him into shoes, but you have one shoe that you like.
These are it. Yeah.
Well, you used to wear
You're like Shane Gillis. He's got one shoe with black laces, and he wears them all the time. They have to stink like shit.
And our merch director, Kent Sinclair, got me these shoes.
He'll wear these till they turn black, and then he will try to go buy another pair of shoes. And I'll call. We've been with Jordan since 2016. Shout out to Reggie Saunders, one of my best friends. I'll call Reggie and go, send Brent shoes. Well, Brent never wants me to send him shoes because he always says he wants to pay for them.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I go, well, send them to him anyway. So we'll show up in a dressing room and I'll just shove 8 pairs of Jordan 1s in his box and go, here you go, just pick one. And then he got to the point where I don't know if it was bored or what, but he started switching. Like he had like there's a red and black pair and then a black and red pair. They were almost reversed. And he started wearing 2 different pairs of shoes. And I go, dude, you're going to have one left and right that's just immaculate. Later, he's just wearing 2 different shoes on stage. But yeah, he wears the same, like he doesn't have a house. He doesn't have anything. So he's not a reckless spender.
Do you pay for guitars?
I mean, yeah, vintage guitars.
Like you buy.
But not my guitars.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, like they. Like,
I didn't even pay for that one.
No, I know. I gave it to you.
I know.
I get certain ones a year. I don't really buy like the stuff you see me play on stage. I don't buy.
Yeah.
But all my vintage stuff, I still collect. I love. If I find
you like
guitar,
collecting shit.
Yeah. You've stayed at my house. So yeah.
What are your shoes, guitars,
watches?
Watches. But you're also you got a bunch of Michael Myers stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was in the last Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Michael Myers. My birth name. I've just been obsessed with that movie since I was a kid. So I got like 3 or 4 masks that were worn in the movies by.
Have you seen the video of John Mayer and Ed Sheeran talking about watches?
Yeah. It's the
this.
Hodinkee interview that they do.
It's
so wild because I know about watches, but to watch when I watch that, I go, I don't know shit about watches.
I don't know shit about. John Mayer's going. You mean the JN5RW? And he's like, actually, it's a JN5RW with a ceramic casing. He's like,
100%. I was like, actually, they asked the ceramic version. They only made 3 of these. And it's like, I don't know what any of you guys are talking about.
I know so little about watches that like.
Well, I remember because when last time I came out, you're like, hey, like I want to watch.
Yeah.
What should I get?
Yeah. And by the way, it's fun to get into stuff. But I can't say I collect watches. I have a couple watches that I have that I really like. They all mean something to me. I bought them at times when big things happen in my career.
Yeah.
And they mean certain things to me. Shoes, I don't know. And I know I was saying this when we started the thing.
You like what you like.
I like Nike SBs and I like Dunks.
Yeah.
I like
probably
those
low
shoes.
Jordan 1s.
Low Jordan 1s. I like those shoes. It's all I really fuck with. Hats, I'm a problem.
I have
with
a
hats.
question about the hat thing. Because I've stayed on your bus over like almost a week of time.
I feel like hats are like Beanie Babies.
I have a lot of hats too, not even remotely close to the amount of hats you have. Where did it start? I guess, and B, like I've been on your bus and spent the night on your bus, and then like you say you got 30 shows, but you've got 300 hats.
Yeah,
he has baskets, like little organizing baskets, and there's just hats in them. The whole bus is hats.
Oh, my bedroom's hats. This house's hats. Our beach house is all hats. I have hats everywhere. I probably
most of the pictures of you are hat.
I
You're
have
wearing
a hat on. Well, first of all, I look cute as fucking a hat. Okay.
Shout out. I agree with
Number
that.
2, I have a size 8 head, which is a hard hat to find. So technically, you're only
clearly it's not a hard hat to find.
No, it is. Meaning, this is my favorite thing in the world to do. Go into a New Era store. I don't even fuck with New Era anymore. And I go, hey, what size 8s do you have?
Like
and they always go, we got everything. I go, no, you don't. And he goes, we got everything. I go, cool. Can I have that hat? And he goes, yeah, we don't have 8. I go, okay, well, let's start over. What hat size 8 do you have? And he goes, everything else. I go, how about that hat? And he goes, no size 8. And so what you would end up doing is you'd end up getting the ones you can get 8s in are always a Yankees hat, always a Dodgers hat, always a Red Sox hat, always.
Yeah. Maybe the Cubs too.
Maybe the Cubs.
That's probably about it.
And then and what I'm saying, like, unless you're in that city you can find the hat.
Oakland Raiders.
But what would happen is I would wear those hats and you'd be walking around a grocery store. And people would go like, Red Sox fan, huh? And I'm like, no, I just have a big head and I wanted to wear a hat. And then they'd be like, well, you don't follow the Red Sox? Why are you wearing their hat? And I was like, because I have a hat. I don't know.
I like the colors.
Yeah, and it looks good on me. And so
and I'm cute in the hat.
And I look
at a certain point, I found this dude, SF Grippy, and he has this thing called the Hat Club. And they find
SS or SF?
SF Grippy.
SF Grippy.
He's on Instagram.
Okay.
And I saw his hat when I was like, badass hat. And I emailed him and he was like, yeah, DM'd him or whatever. And he sent me a couple hats and they were like different hats. And someone was like, oh, what hat are you wearing? And I was like, and it was like, I don't even know what this one is. Oh, this is a badass hat. But like, he was like, yeah, there's a big hat culture. You should check out this other place called the Clink Room. And the Clink Room supports designers. This is a Clink hat. They support designers who create logos, hoping that a minor league team will buy it. And then they submit it. Cool. They submit it to the Clink Room. The Clink Room, people then can pre-order this hat. And then if they get enough pre-orders, they'll make the hat. And then everyone that gets the hat gets the hat. Well, the Clink Room, I'm good friends with those guys. They just started, because I would talk about them like I am now. They'd be like, we'll just hook you up with hats. So they send me like 10 hats every 2 weeks. And so over time, I've accumulated a ridiculous amount of hats that like
you think you got
no one
1,500
has.
hats?
Way
Way more
Probably
than
have
that.
3,000 hats.
That's ridiculous.
I probably have 3,000 hats. I have so many hats. Like there's probably 20 hats in the trunk of my car. I have more hats than I know what to do with. I did a show one time. Leanne was like, it was in Bakersfield. And I said, I'm going to give away a bunch of hats I've only worn once or twice that but you need to have a size 8 head. Anyone wants a hat. And I gave away probably 400 hats at that show. And at the end, I was just throwing out hats to people. And I still have a ton of fucking hats. My business manager was like, not a bad meaning like if you're going to be into collecting something, hats I'd rather it be hats than Porsches.
Yeah.
And so
Bass boats.
I don't really want for anything too material. I love a cool pair of kicks. Although I start looking at myself.
What do you think is your most expensive hat that you own? Just out of curiosity.
They're all the same price.
They're all the same price.
Yeah, no.
But you don't have
But
like a specific hat that where you're like, oh, this is a lot of money.
You use money how we use money, which is for the experience. It's like when if I'm gonna drop a bunch of money, I want to take all my friends out to dinner.
Yeah,
and my son is 8 years old and has the wildest palate. He turned 8 2 days ago, and even when he was 3 years old, he's got the like for his 3rd birthday, he asked me to make mussels with garlic cream sauce. That's what he asked for his birthday dinner.
I fucking love that kid.
Yeah. And so we have a restaurant. Like he came to, dude, he came to New York City.
My daughters have thumb tongues.
Now, my 5-year-old, I'm with you. Pizza, burger, but we'll occasionally eat some wild
tongue. Yeah, they have the same. They taste things just like it's a thumb. Fucking Isla. I got her Nutella stuffed donuts by this dude who's making. He has his own little donut thing. He sets up shop, and I was like, "Try that." And she's like, "Ugh, I want a Pop-Tart." And I was like, "This fucking guy put his heart and soul in this goddamn donut, and you want a Pop-Tart?"
Dude, my kid is wild. We went to New York City. We did the Kelly and Mark show, and we were there for like 5 days. And I said, "Where do you want to eat?" He goes, "What do all they have here?" And this is a true story. These are the restaurants he picked. We went to New Surrett, Salt Bay. We went to Sugarfish. He was 7 then. We went to Nobu. And we went to John's Bleecker Pizza.
Oh, wow.
Like he picked all the restaurants himself at 7 years old. He's like, this is where I want to go. All these places.
God, I love that.
Yeah, bougie kid.
He's
man.
a bougie kid,
I would
man.
love that.
And but also on the same token,
Sweet kid though.
grows his own garden.
I thought you were gonna say weed.
grows his own weed.
Really
grows his own weed.
sativas.
Harvests it, sells it. It's a family business now.
You should see this kid cut blood. He really good.
Under the table at the lemonade
under the
stand.
table, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he knows how to roll.
No, he plants his own garden. He grows his own garden. Can catch a fish, skin it, like
Shit.
clean it, cook it.
Yeah, my kids are.
Can't ride a bike.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was good at as a dad was teaching my girls to ride bikes.
Dude, I taught my 5-year-old, and I'm not joking, in 35 seconds. Never been on a bike in his life. I held the back of his neck and I said, just start pedaling. I'll hold on to you. Ran next to him and realized like, this fucking hurts my back. I don't want to run next to this kid while he's doing this. So the next time I do it, I said, hey, put one foot on the ground and start pedaling with the other foot. So balance yourself with your right foot.
Yeah.
And started riding a bike the second time he put his feet on pedals. No training wheels.
Really?
My 5-year-old, who's also could be a serial killer one day. We're not sure.
Yeah, those young kids, they get fucking weird energy.
Yeah, dude.
That's
the
how I
middle
like.
one, man. The middle one is I got a 3rd one now. We kept it like real secret. So
I thought you were gonna say we kept it.
we kept it.
We kept it.
We kept the kid.
We kept it.
No, the middle one. Yeah, Avery is the wild card, man. Like his favorite thing now is wrestling, right? Like WWE, and we're friends with a lot of those wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I say obsessed with it, the other day Oliver played about a second and a half of like 30 different songs. Like the first second and a half. And he would sit there and go, with his eyes closed, go, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Andre the Giant. Like, can call out like a weird Rain Man type weird thing, but with wrestling songs.
Yeah.
But again, the weirdness of him is we took him the other night and we got to go backstage and meet a bunch of wrestlers. It was only a 2-hour show. We're 90 minutes in. His favorite wrestler is coming out for sure. They've already announced it. And he's like, I want to go home. I go, what? I want to go home. Your favorite wrestler hasn't even come out yet. I want to go home. I'm like, dude, he's just so weird, man. He's the coolest, weirdest kid.
I
want to go
home.
But he hasn't come out yet. I don't care.
Who was the wrestler?
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Oh, good friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did a show with him.
I love Cody.
I ended up getting free, like 4 passes to both days of WrestleMania this weekend in Philly. And I'm like, Oliver kind of wants to go. So I may go fly home from here and then fly to Philly and I'll see. But I'm like, there's no way he could do 3, because it's the 2 days of WrestleMania, then Raw on Monday. I'm like, there's no way he could do that. Even though it's his favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
He could never do it.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around different stressors, big and small. When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. I just did this morning. I woke up in my bed and I was rolling back and forth, fighting with my stressors. And I actually said to myself, this is not helping me. So what I did is I sat down and I wrote down these stressors and I said, I'm going to shelve this and I'm going to talk about this in therapy and I'm going to work through this, but I'm not going to work through this in bed by myself. Having someone to talk to can make this so much more doable and less of like a mountain you can't climb by yourself. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Bert today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bert. Isla got a guitar from Chris Cale from Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, yeah.
And out of tune, she learns a Minor Threat song or something, maybe Social Distortion song, out of tune.
Yeah, awesome.
Learns it. And then I plug it in for her. We get her an amp. And I go, baby, your guitar's out of tune. So I tune it for her, and then she goes, oh, this makes so much more sense. She set the guitar for 5 hours, plays the song. First time using her fingers on a guitar. Plays the song, bar chords, but
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Still.
Plays the song, and then goes, cool, puts it down, hasn't picked the guitar up once. I was like, bitch, start a fucking band. Fucking your dad, I'm buying guitars left and right these days, and I can't fucking, and she's just like,
I can't figure out this Tennessee Jig chord.
Dude, fuck.
By the way, thank you very much.
I hate the letter F.
I didn't know that the guitar was here, and then someone sent me the podcast like right when you put it up.
Oh yeah,
they were like your guitar's in the background of Bert's podcast, and I was like, I love that. I thought you were just going to leave it on the bus when I gave it to you that time.
No, I always have the guitars here thinking people will play them, but then I always just go, it's uncomfortable. Play a song.
I'll play it.
You want to play a song?
Yeah, you want to play a song?
Sure.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are we about to play a song?
Yeah. I'm curious which guitar you got. The Martin. Interesting choice. Interesting choice.
All right, what are we going to play?
Well, I want you to play Changes, but it's too hard.
It's way too hard.
I'm trying to remember the words.
So that's how you play it.
It's so high. I can do the verse.
I wish I had my harmonica.
What's the next one?
So high.
As I sit here in this misery, I don't need now earbuds and nose. See the sun from here, the bottom of this pier. Knows I've been away.
Is that it? What's the next line?
Oh, look at me and say.
Well, all look at me and say, and they'll say, hey, look at him. Never did that way. What is it? And that's okay. Just a face of change.
It is high.
It's high.
Wait, that's what he says. I'm just afraid to change. I always thought he said freight train. Yeah, that would make. I never understood why I said freight train.
I'm just afraid of change.
I'm just afraid of change. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of change. Oh,
Afraid of change.
by the way, I'm watching you play that going, so that's how that's played.
It's just you suspend the.
Show everybody the F chord that he has a hard time with.
Or this one. I do this one.
Yeah, I do F. What's
You do
that?
it right here?
No. I go the old school textbook F. No, the hard one with your fingers got to hold down two things in the corner. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah, I do that.
That's a good one too.
Gotta
There's
sound-
an F. There's an F in this song. You want to do it?
You want to hear a song?
Yeah.
You want to play the new one?
Sure.
So we're going to do Symptom?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, we have to do it in the real tuning?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Good
All
luck.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a symptom of being human.
We'll see if he can sing.
Austin, you have to let me know if I need to go away or close to the mic.
I can still remember me and Miss November rain, beautiful and strange, always so inclined, coloring outside the lines. Yeah, you were never on time. You've always been slightly awkward, kinda weird, upside down and not all here. What's wrong with me and you? It's crystal clear. Sometimes I'm in a room where I don't belong, and the house is on fire and there's no alarm, and the walls are melting too. How about you? I've never been the favorite, thought I seen it all, till I got my invitation to the lunatic ball, and my friends are coming too. How about you? Yeah, don't worry, it's all just a symptom of being human. Unpack all your baggage, hide it in the attic where you hope it disappears. This all seems so familiar, but it doesn't feel like home. It's just another unknown. You've always been slightly awkward, kinda weird, upside down and not all here. Right or wrong, it's all so crystal clear. Sometimes I'm in a room where I don't belong, and the house is on fire and there's no alarm, and the walls are melting too. How about you? I've never been the favorite, thought I've seen it all, till I got my invitation to the lunatic ball, and my friends are coming too. How about you? Yeah, don't worry, it's all just a symptom of being human.
We're all just passing through, passengers on a ship of fools. We're all just passing through, passengers on a ship of fools.
Sometimes I'm in a room where I don't belong, and the house is on fire and there's no alarm, and the walls are melting too. How about you?
Passengers on a ship of fools.
I've never been the favorite, thought I'd seen it all, till I got my invitation to the lunatic ball, and my friends are coming too. On a ship of
Passengers on
fools.
a ship of
You don't worry, it's all just a symptom of being human.
It's a good sounding guitar.
Fuck yeah. Hold on. Don't put that away. I gotta watch the way you play Second Chance. Can I see the way you play it?
Capo?
Yo, Carlson, capo, quick.
Carlson, capo, stat. I love that you have a guitar tech.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say, man.
Carlson, you're
Got him right here.
We were playing Second Chance today. We were trying to, and I'm curious when I watched.
so much easier than whatever you're thinking.
Fuck.
That's what you have the guy right here. He'll show
Yeah,
you.
it's so fun. Look at Halston.
Oh, I like this multicolored.
Halston
Kaiser.
might eat meat today.
All right. All right, ready?
Okay, yeah.
Here's your F though.
Yeah.
My eyes are open wide.
Hold on, stop. Let me get a beer. Hold on.
Grab a guitar and play it with him.
Fuck off. Hold on. This is
I moved it
a
down.
Miller Highlights moment.
That would have been standard.
Yeah, give me a hair down.
Tell them I'm not gonna make it. This is fucking.
What are you not making?
Oh, fucking.
You late for something?
I have a sitcom meeting. I'm gonna pass on it, gentlemen. And I apologize. I know you guys both don't drink.
Oh
but
no, we're not like that. We're not like our drummer drinks beer and loves it.
See, this makes it better. I love it.
We're not like people that you can't drink around.
Fuck me.
All right. Are we done? We're just gonna play
Liquid
a show.
Death is mountain.
Halston, do you want to play too?
Halston,
Okay,
come in here
come
and
on in
play,
here.
man.
Austin, come in here and play. I'm doing it with a capo on 2 though. Are we in the same tuning, Austin? All right. Let's do this.
Oh fuck.
My eyes are open wide. By the way, I made it through the day, and I watched the world outside. By the way, I'm leaving now today. I just saw Haley's comment, she waved. She said, why you always running in place? Even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere. So tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life, and I hope they understand. Take it. That I'm not angry, I'm just saying that sometimes goodbye is a second chance. Please don't cry one tear for me. I'm not afraid of what I have to say. This is my one and only voice, so listen close. It's only for today. I just saw Haley's comment, she waved. She said, why you always running in place? Even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere. So tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life, and I hope they understand. Take it off. That I'm not angry, I'm just saying that sometimes goodbye is a second chance. There you go. 'Cause here is my chance. Yeah, this is my chance. So tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life, and I hope they understand. Take it, kid. I'm not angry, I'm just saying sometimes goodbye is a second chance. You know, sometimes goodbye is a second chance. Sometimes goodbye is a second chance. Very nice, very nice.
How do you sing that
I
without?
didn't know Bert was gonna cry.
God
I didn't know Bert was gonna start crying.
Oh, I fucking love that. that song.
I'm
thank
glad,
you
man.
very
That
much.
makes us, dude. You have no.
We've never done a song
I
on a
love that,
podcast
though,
ever.
man.
I
That's why we play
fucking-
music,
That's why you
man.
play
so it's
music for
emotional.
the reaction. You're gonna make me cry.
I cried watching you guys play that. I cry every time I fucking hear it. It's such a
man.
goddamn good song. I don't have anything in my arsenal of comedy that brings that fucking emotion out, and that's so fucking precious.
Yeah, man.
It's so cool that you guys made
Man,
something.
rules, brother. Seriously,
It's
man.
so cool.
I pour beer all over you. I love you.
It's so cool that you guys made something that that can affect that emotion in people. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone has that gift. When we talk about rarefied air, you guys live in that rarefied air where you connect people in their car going through shit. When you think about life, you hear that lyric.
Yeah, man.
I did the best I can. And it's so fucking badass. It's so fucking cool.
That's what music is, man. That's what, I have nights where we play Symptom and I'm actually, I have nights where I'm already in my own shit and I'm going through it. And last year I had some heavy shit I went through and like, I'm already feeling it. And then there's nights where I'm like playing the song because I love the song, but then I see a person in the front row just having a full on breakdown, but in a good way. And then it gets me. And I and I start falling apart too, because like you get to watch something that you did, something that you wrote move someone in that way in real time. They're not in the car listening to it, going through it. They're in front of you going through it.
Oh.
And it's like, man, like, and you say that you don't have that, but you do, man. Cause like, I guarantee you there's people who have had the worst week ever and they come see your show just to get the fuck away from whatever they're going through. And you never know, man. You might have made their day so good that they don't go home and do something stupid. You know what I mean? Because they were going through it. And that's all art. I think all art can relate like that to people, but yeah,
It's
man.
so fucking cool.
We all have great jobs.
Oh yeah. I am a very lucky man that a song that affects me that strong, I can sit in a room and not only just watch you guys play it live, but I can bring a guy in with me that's been with me for a very long time, your favorite band, and he gets to have this moment too. This is like,
Hey man, we're honored to be. This is your place, man. You brought us in here and gave us time this afternoon to get to know each other and have a good time.
He's got Shinedown
proud to be here.
tattoos. You don't have like a Godsmack tattoo either, do you?
Literally the only band that I have. I was 19. I was like, I'm gonna get a badass tattoo, but it's gonna be subtle. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like, it's gonna say, "Call me a sinner, call me a saint," but I'm gonna put my own spin on it with some like theater masks and just I was a fucking
Yeah, man.
But
that's crazy, man. That song is like, it sounds like Monopoly money and it sounds fake, but we have the most #1 rock songs in the history of Billboard or Media Base or in the Billboard charts. That song was never a single. It was never on the radio, and it's maybe the most requested song we have.
okay. All right.
Never a single.
so
one
good.
more. One more. I just have one beer in me. Might as well play Simple Man. It's fucking.
You want us to give you Simple Man right now?
Let me get another beer.
Let me tell you, while he's getting a beer, I'll tell you a backstory on this for my life. When we first, it was nonstop on the radio. And I'm in high school.
Yeah.
And my mom goes, "This is my song to you. And this is how I feel about you." And so I got married about a year ago.
Okay.
And it was our mother-son dance.
Okay.
And I just sang it to her the whole time. And it was just us dancing. And so I'll always be connected to you guys in that way.
Well,
Because
you're always connected
it's so
to us because of the
special.
tattoos, buddy. You can never get rid of us.
I
You
can
better
get him
hope they don't
removed.
fucking have a. I feel
better
bad
hope
for all
we-
the guy with P. Diddy tattoos.
Fuck, I got a P. Diddy tattoo.
Oh shit.
We're ruined.
What are you shaking beers?
I don't know, man. It's okay.
What have you guys done?
Okay. All right.
All right,
Do
we
you
doing
have
this?
musicians come in and play though?
No, never. Never.
I'm about to say we've never played. We've never played on a podcast ever.
You know
We've
what I
never,
do?
We just do the interview usually.
I was gonna play your songs, but change the lyrics and see if you notice.
Please, God, please do that.
I would pay.
Please,
I would pay
please,
any
I was
amount
gonna
of
sing.
money.
I was gonna sing that in Spanish to you.
Japanese.
Please do that. All right, are we actually doing something?
Fuck yeah,
Well, I'm going to tell you this. You're the only person we would do this for.
buddy. This is. Hey, go get Leanne. Where the fuck's Leanne? Where is she? Ugh, kids.
Kids.
The fuck, they ruin everything.
ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Or take your time and don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a woman and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is someone up above. And be a simple kind of man and be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Forget your lost from the rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is just to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man and be something that you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Oh, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is just to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man and be something that you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? So baby, be a simple, yeah, be a simple man Oh, won't you do this for me, son?
Make sure you do it for your daughters too.
If you care. Ta-da!
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Nice one, dude.
Good one.
So good.
Nailed it.
This is
You're in the band. You got the
been
job.
beyond a dream come true. This is fucking insane.
Hey, man, thanks for letting us come hang out.
You know, I got to give flowers where flowers is due. I've seen you guys on stage. I've seen. I know you, Zach, very well. It's so cool to see like this.
Yeah.
It's like oh, I don't have words.
We don't play in many living rooms, so
It's a new thing.
It's
I'm coming
funny.
out with.
It's funny too. Like,
But
even in that
honestly,
moment,
this is how it starts.
Yeah, this is how every
Yeah.
song starts. Is like this. But it's funny. Like in that moment, like I know like that I'm in a band with one of the greatest rock singers of all time, but
God
definitely
damn
one of the best living rock singers. But like even
Are they in this room?
even in that moment, like hearing him do that in such close proximity without a microphone, without anything, you're like, dude, this fucking guy can sing. It's like you're like, oh wow, you forget. Like I don't forget how good he is because I've been with him for 20 plus years. But it's like, yeah, you're a good singer, man. You're pretty good.
It's
Brent,
on a
really,
good
you're a
day.
good singer, Brent.
I'm
Yeah, you're a
trying.
good singer.
I'm trying.
really,
I'm doing
uh,
my best.
it really makes my singer-songwriter period of my life
How does it
look
reflect on
extremely comical. I'm blown away. You know, when I see that, I'm really blown away. It's funny, man. I don't think I've ever seen your fingers that close.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's usually pyro, and you're on the side of the stage.
yeah, but it's like fucking so badass, and to feel you emote emotion when you, I think I just redundant. I think that's what emotion is. But to see it close up and to hear your voice and to hear your command of your own voice, it's so fucking impressive.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks, man. We
Well,
appreciate that.
and to give you yours too, like obviously,
I was gonna
we
say,
do-
man.
we do 1,000 interviews a month, you know, all the time. Like this is by far, and I mean this, by far the favorite thing that I've ever done. Like as far as having to sit and talk to someone on a microphone,
Oh, it's
because maybe it's easier because we're friends.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it's like we do so many like radio interviews that are like, it's 20 minutes and you got to hit your bullet points because you're talking about your song or you're doing whatever. But like we don't ever really get the form to come in here and just kind of be us. It's always, you got to be the guy and you got to be the guy in the band. And yeah, we're out on tour and this is the name of the tour and this is the name of the single. It's like, you got to do that so much that like these ones mean the most, I feel like, to me anyway. That's my personal
Yeah, and
opinion.
anybody, you know, anytime somebody's giving you an opportunity to express who you are, you know, there's a gratefulness inside of that because, again, too, we love what we do, and you know, there's probably people that'll see this that have no idea who we are, and you open up a different audience for us, and it goes back and forth. And the same thing, you know, from our side, they may not know exactly who you are per se, and it's about bringing people together, and it's about sharing those experiences. And you know, I think more than anything, it's about learning from each other, understanding that we're all connected to one another. But these types of environments where you can kind of come in, and it's interesting. He hits on a lot of things. You know, you come into environments like this, and there's not a ton of pressure. You don't feel so like, okay, you're on. You got to be on.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, just sit down and have a conversation, and then something just organic.
Yeah, you don't have
happens.
to always turn it on like that.
it's I mean, it's why I love podcasting, and I love the freeness of a podcast, but I love the I feel like I got given a gift. I feel like I get a lot of gifts in life, but I love music. I just love it, and it really. I'm sure it's a brain tumor or something, but it fucking hits me in the fucking
We
heaviest
all got
way.
it then.
We did.
I should probably get mine checked too then.
We did. We were in Mexico, and Goose played like a private show in a. We were sitting there to see Dead Ahead,
Yeah.
and they played a private show, and they're like, grab seats, and I just like, I'm sitting this close,
Yeah.
and I put sunglasses on, and Rick, the lead singer, is like, "What's up with the sunglasses?" I'm like, "I'm crying, bitch. What do you think?" Like, this is how music hits me. I you know, there's a fucking great clip of me I'm with Shane Gillis and Mark Norman and Leanna. We're watching Wilco and at Red Rocks, and I'm sobbing, crying, and the camera guy hits me, and it's just fucking 30 seconds of me going. I can't help that I cry. I think once I turned 50, I got in touch with these emotions where, you know, that those lyrics, when I hear Simple Man, or when I hear those lyrics, tell my mom, tell my dad, it's so primal. It's so primal. It's so primal. It's so simple.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about Second Chance. So that song was inspired by a real event, meaning that, so I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was not an easy kid to raise. You know, for me personally, it was a great town to grow up in, but I was an angsty kid. I had a lot of issues just because I actually was the kid that didn't have a problem being emotional and being aggressive and like saying how I felt. But I hit 14, 15, and again, I appreciate my parents so much more now than like when I did, you know, especially having a kid of my own who's now 16. But the thing is, you know, in and out of jail, you know, my parents never ever gave up on me. I was always put myself in these really heavy situations, but I got a fake ID when I was 14, started playing in, you know, clubs and bands and stuff like that, sneaking out of my house, things of that nature. My parents didn't necessarily understand, because from birth, all I wanted to do is what I'm doing now. So you have other kids around that are like, more traditional way of upbringing or what have you. And here I come with, I want to be not only a singer, but I want to be a rock singer. I love rock and roll, all these different things. I want to be a lyricist. I have my own songs. I don't really want to learn anybody. I want to do my own thing. Fast forward to the reality of, I remember getting the first record contract and then getting dropped by Atlantic and then getting re-signed. And then it was going to take me on this journey that would lead me to Barry and to Zach and to Eric. But I didn't know that at the time. And my mom, we used to have this thing on Sundays when I was growing up. She would go to McDonald's and she'd get McDonald's breakfast. That was like our thing. We hadn't done it in years or what have you. So it was when I signed the second deal, which was a development deal. And I was getting ready to leave to actually, I think, my first trip out to Los Angeles. And so my mom comes downstairs. This was on a Saturday. And she goes, and I could smell it in the house too. And she came downstairs. She's like, hey, I got McDonald's breakfast. You want to come to the table upstairs and eat it with me and your dad? I'm like, sure. So we go. It was like I was a kid again. So we're not really talking about anything specific or what have you. And we finish the breakfast and this and that and the other. My dad removes himself. He like excuses himself and he goes off to the other room. My mom looks at me and she goes, I have no idea what you're about to embark on. Raising you was not necessarily something that, this is, for me, listening to her talk about this, because they didn't quite understand me. They didn't quite get me. A lot of people didn't. But the fact of the matter is my mom, even though she didn't understand this music world, my dad didn't understand this music world. Here I was with a second opportunity, getting signed by a major label for 10 months, getting dropped, and getting re-signed to go off because the A&R at the time, the guy that signed me the second time and the first time, believed I was a songwriter, that I just wasn't with the right people. And so here I am, like getting ready to move forward. But I didn't know what forward necessarily meant. But I remember my mom looking at me and she goes, I have no idea what this journey is going to lead or where it's going to lead you. But I want you to get the hell out of here. Because if you stay here, you're going to die here. And that's not what I want for you. Whatever you're chasing, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to feel fulfilled, you can always come back to us anytime you want. I'm your mom, that's your dad, and we love you regardless, no matter what. And not that I needed her permission or my dad's permission, but I did. I needed them to tell me, like, go for it. And it was funny when they heard that song, because it was on the third album. That's their favorite song to this day. And if there are two people that are the biggest fans of the band that I'm in, it's my mom and my dad. because they gave me permission. That second chance was the start of my life.
Yeah.
Well, we all cried today. So that's
But that, my point, I know it was a little bit of a long story, but it was important because that's the beauty of the human spirit. You know, we're all a work in progress, man. You know what I mean? We're all connected. And when we can be with each other, it's about the experience to support each other, to celebrate the art of whatever that is, whether it's music, comedy, painting, you know, public space, whatever it is, man. If you're being creative and you're being artistic and you're sharing in that to make the world brighter and to give people confidence more than anything. We talk about this all the time. Being in bands, sometimes there's this kind of posturing that happens, but not with us, man. We're like, well, what's the best advice we can give any kind of an artist or what have you? We always say, celebrate other bands, celebrate other artists. When your friends are doing well, champion that, man. Yeah. Like when someone's kicking ass, be like, hell yeah, and support them.
He's very good at that.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah.
I just like cool shit, man. I like cool shit. If I collect anything, it's fucking cool friends.
Yeah, and memories, cool, man. You make memories friends with those people. You want the people around you to come up too. You know what I mean? And that's that's the best thing. People get this, you know, more for you is less for me attitude. And that's not the case, especially in entertainment. There's enough room for fucking all of us, man. Especially this day and age. You know, so it's like bring up as many people as you can, man. That's how we always do it. I've never had any friends do better than me that I got jealous of. You know? Yeah. And that's very important.
Yeah, luckily I did better than all my friends. This has been an epic podcast. I'm so fucking happy that we did this. This was fucking amazing.
Again, man, we're honored that you brought us over, man. Thank you.
Finally, I'm glad I got to do it finally. We've been friends a long time.
I know. But it's even cooler. I've been friends with Guy Fieri for a while, and he had never seen me do stand-up. He'd never seen Tom do stand-up. Yeah. And I didn't understand. I was like, I didn't understand why he was so blown away. He was like, this is like, that fucking, what do you do? That's fucking insane. I was like, yeah, I do this every fucking day. Well, it's like, so I'm not in love with the material, to be dead honest with you. But I fucking get it. I get the love he was showing me that night. I really get it watching you guys play and see and being this close to it. It is really fucking, it's better than Grand Canyon.
I'll agree with you there.
You look at it and you're like, no, this is cool, but then like where are we going to eat?
Yeah. Grand Canyon, Bertcast. It's like there. Right there.
For sure.
I'm going to take this opportunity to project into the universe, and you guys don't have to say anything because I'm lingering too long. I will open for you guys in the future. I'm a new artist. I'm just putting it out into the world. I am going to be opening for you guys in the future. Just putting it out there. Released my very first song last week. I'm new.
What's it called? Say it.
It's all good.
No. We're here.
Let's go. This isn't getting edited out. Let's go.
I edit this podcast, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, see? That's why.
It's called Let Me Be Lonely.
All right. Is it under your name?
Yeah, Halston Ray.
All right.
And I'm just going to put it out in the universe.
And I want to put this out in the universe. More artists on this podcast. I would love to watch two porn stars fuck right there. That would be cool as shit.
You know what?
It'd be like, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, but I've never seen you suck dick in person. This is really fascinating.
I need some 3-dimensional dick sucking.
That would be fucking awesome.
Yo, you guys just opened up a lot of avenues.
This is the art couch. We just need art to happen here. No matter what the art is.
Yeah. So you bottle your farts, huh? Let's see this.
Listen, we like to see you come and do your profession in person.
Oh, well, that was fucking amazing. There's nowhere to go from here, but just say thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
I'm going to kill this beer.
We had a blast.
Do it.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.